வேதம் பக்தரின் கீதம் சுத்தர்கள் போகும் பாதை தீபம் உத்தம மார்க்கம். நீரை கொண்டு அப்படினால் உமக்கு சொல்கிறோம். இதனால் வேத வாசிப்பு ஆராதனை எங்களுக்கு பிரயோஜனமாக இருக்கட்டும். வாசிக்கிறதான ஒவ்வொருவரையும் ஆசீர்வதிக்க சொல்கிறோம். இந்த சோதரம் வந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறவர்களை ஆசீர்வதி நாமத்தை உயர்த்தும். இயேசுவின் மூலமாக ஜெபிக்கிறோம் எங்கள் ஜீவனுள்ள நல்ல பிதாவே. ஆமென். கர்த்தருடைய பரிசுத்த நாமம் மகிமைப்படுவதாக. ದೇವರ ನಾಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ತೋತ್ರ ಉಂಟಾಗಲಿ. ಬೈಬಲ್ ಓದುವಾಗ ಆರಾಧನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೌವನಸ್ಥರನ್ನು ಯೇಸುವಿನ ನಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ದೇವರ ನಾಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮಹಿಮೆ ಉಂಟಾಗಲಿ. ನಾವು ಕೀರ್ತನೆಗಳೇ ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈಗ 409ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ 5ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯವರೆಗೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕ್ಲಾರ ಅವರು ಓದುತ್ತಾರೆ. 6ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ 10ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯವರೆಗೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ಅವರು, 10ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ 11ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯವರ ಬ್ರದರ್ ಭರತ್, 14ರಿಂದ 20 ಬ್ರದರ್ ಸಂತೋಷ್ ಬಂದು 5 ಅಧ್ಯಾಯಗಳಾಗಿ ಓದುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಮೊದಲನೆಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕ್ಲಾರ.
ಮನಸ್ಸಿಲ್ಲದೆ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ನನ್ನ ಆಲೋಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಇರುವುದು. ಬುದ್ಧಿಯು ನಿನಗೆ ಕಾವಲಾಗಿರುವುದು, ವಿವೇಕವು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡುವುದು. ಇದರಿಂದ ನೀನು ದುರ್ಮಾರ್ಗದಿಂದಲೂ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಮಾತನಾಡುವುದರಿಂದಲೂ ತಪ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಿ. ಅವರಾದರೂ ಕತ್ತಲೆಯ ಆದಿಗಳನ್ನು ಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕೆಂದು ಧರ್ಮ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳನ್ನು ತೊರೆದು ಬಿಡುವವರು. ಅವರು ಕೆಟ್ಟದನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂತೋಷಿಸಿ ಕೆಟ್ಟವರ ದುಷ್ಟತನಕ್ಕೆ ಉಳಿಯಾಗುವವರು. ಅವರ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳು ವಕ್ರವಾಗಿವೆ, ಅವರ ನಡತೆಗಳು ದುರ್ನಡತೆಗಳೇ. ವಿವೇಕವು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಜಾರಿಯಿಂದ ಎಂದರೆ ಸವಿ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಿಂದ ತಪ್ಪಿಸುವುದು. ಅವಳು ತನ್ನ ಯವನ ಕಾಲದ ತಾರತಮ್ಯವನ್ನು ತ್ಯಜಿಸಿ ತನ್ನ ದೇವರ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ ಒಡಂಬಡಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಮರೆತು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾಳಷ್ಟೇ. ಅವಳ ಮನೆಯು ಪಾತಾಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಳಿಯುವ ದಾರಿ, ಅವಳ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳು ಪ್ರೇತರ ಲೋಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತವೆ. ಅವಳ ಬಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವವರು ಯಾರು ಹಿಂದಿರುಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಜೀವದ ಮಾರ್ಗವು ದೊರೆಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವರ ನಡತೆಯನ್ನು ಅನುಸರಿಸುವಂತೆ ವಿವೇಕವು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಪ್ರೇರೇಪಿಸಿ ನೀತಿವಂತರ ಆದಿಗಳನ್ನು ಹಿಡಿಯುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು. ಯಥಾರ್ಥವಂತರು ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಂತರಾಗಿರುವವರು, ವಿದೇಶಿಗಳಾದರೆ ನೆಲೆಯಾಗಿರುವವರು. ದುಷ್ಟರಾದರೂ ದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೀಳಲ್ಪಡುವವರು, ದ್ರೋಹಿಗಳು ನಿರ್ಮೂಲರಾಗುವವರು. 3ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ. ಕಂದ, ನನ್ನ ಉಪದೇಶವನ್ನು ಮರೆಯಬೇಡ, ನನ್ನ ಆಜ್ಞೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮನಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ನಡೆಸು. ಅವು ನಿನ್ನ ದಿನಗಳನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಆಯುಷ್ಯವನ್ನು ವೃದ್ಧಿಗೊಳಿಸಿ ನಿನಗೆ ಸುಕ್ಷೇಮವನ್ನು ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡುವವು. ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಸತ್ಯಗಳು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಯದಿರಲಿ, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ನಿನ್ನ ಕೊರಳಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟು, ನಿನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದ ಹಲಗೆಯನ್ನು ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ನೀನು ದೇವರ ಮತ್ತು ಮನುಷ್ಯರ ದಯೆಯನ್ನು ಸಮೃದ್ಧಿಯಾಗಿ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಿ. ಸಮೃದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನೇ ಆಧಾರ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಿಂದ ಯೆಹೋವನಲ್ಲಿ ಭರವಸೆ ಬಿಡು. ನಿನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಡವಳಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆತನ ಚಿತ್ತಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಧೇಯನಾಗಿರು. ಆತನೇ ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳನ್ನು ಸರಾಗ ಮಾಡುವನು. ನಿನ್ನ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತನ್ನು ಎದುರಿಸದೆ ಯೆಹೋವನಿಗೆ ಭಯಪಟ್ಟು ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದನ್ನು ತೊರೆದು ಬಿಡು. ಇದರಿಂದ ನಿನ್ನ ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆ ಆರೋಗ್ಯವು, ಎಲುಬುಗಳಿಗೆ ಸರಾಗ ಉಂಟಾಗುವುದು. ನಿನ್ನ ಅಂದಾಯದಿಂದಲೂ ಬೆಳೆಯ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಫಲದಿಂದಲೂ ಯೆಹೋವನನ್ನು ಸ್ಮರಿಸು. ಹೀಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಕಣಜಗಳು ಸಮೃದ್ಧಿಯಿಂದ ತುಂಬುವವು, ತೊಟ್ಟಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಾರಸವು ತುಂಬಿ ತುಳುಕುವುದು. ಮಗನೇ, ಯೆಹೋವನ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನು ತತ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ, ಆತನು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಗದರಿಸುವಾಗ ಬೇಸರಗೊಳ್ಳಬೇಡ. ತಂದೆಯು ತನ್ನ ಮೃದು ಮಗನನ್ನು ಗದರಿಸುವಂತೆ ಯೆಹೋವನು ತಾನು ಪ್ರೀತಿಸುವವನನ್ನೇ ಗದರಿಸುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯುವವನು ಧನ್ಯನು, ವಿವೇಕವನ್ನು ಸಂಪಾದಿಸುವವನು ಭಾಗ್ಯವಂತನು. ಅದರ ಲಾಭವು ಬೆಳ್ಳಿಯ ಲಾಭಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಅದರಿಂದಾಗುವ ಆದಾಯವು ಬಂಗಾರಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಅಮೂಲ್ಯವಾದ ಸರಿಯು. ಆದರೆ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿಯ ಅವಲಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು. ನಿನ್ನ ಇಷ್ಟ ವಸ್ತ್ರಗಳೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮಯವಲ್ಲ. ಜ್ಞಾನವೆಂಬಾಕೆಯ ಬಲಗೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ದೀರ್ಘಾಯುಷ್ಯವು, ಎಡಗೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಧನವು ಘನತೆಯು ಉಂಟಾಗುವುದು. ಆಕೆಯ ದಾರಿಗಳು ಸುಕರವಾಗಿವೆ, ಆಕೆಯ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸಮಾಧಾನವೇ. ಜ್ಞಾನವು ತನ್ನ ಹಿಡಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವವರಿಗೆ ಜೀವ ಮಾರ್ಗವಾಗಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಅವಲಂಬಿಸುವ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬನು ಧನ್ಯನು. ಯೆಹೋವನ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಮೂಲಕ ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸಿ ವಿವೇಕದ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಆಕಾಶ ಮಂಡಲವನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಿರಪಡಿಸಿದನು. ಭೂಮಿಯ ಕೆಳಂಗಣ ಸರಾಂಗವು ಒಡೆದುವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಆಕಾಶವು ಹಿಮ್ಮನಿಯನ್ನು ಸುರಿಸುವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಆತನ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯ ಸಾಧನವು. ಮಗನೇ, ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಬುದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನು ಭದ್ರವಾಗಿಟ್ಟುಕೋ, ನಿನ್ನ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯ ಅವುಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ತಪ್ಪದೇ ಇರಲಿ. ಅವು ನಿನಗೆ ಜೀವವೂ ನಿನ್ನ ಕೊರಳಿಗೆ ಭೂಷಣವೂ ಆಗಿರುವವು. ಆಗ ನೀನು ಎಡವದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ಭಯವಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುವಿ. ನೀನು ಮಲಗುವಾಗ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಮಲಗಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸುಖವಾಗಿ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡುವಿ. ಪಕ್ಕನೆ ಬರುವ ಅಪಾಯ ಕಾಲಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ದೃಷ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸಂಭವಿಸುವ ನಾಶಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿ ನೀನು ಅಂಜುವುದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯೆಹೋವನು ನಿನ್ನ ಭರವಸೆಗೆ ಆಧಾರನಾಗಿದ್ದು ನಿನ್ನ ಕಾಲು ಭಾಷೆಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕದಂತೆ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡುವವನು. ಉಪಕಾರ ಮಾಡುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಕೈಯಿಲ್ಲದಾಗ ಹೊಂದತಕ್ಕವನೇ, ಅದನ್ನು ತಪ್ಪಿಸಬೇಡ. ಕೊಡತಕ್ಕದ್ದು ನಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ನೆರೆಯವಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವ. ನಾಳೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೇನೆ ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಬೇಡ, ನೆರೆಯವಳಿಗೆ ಕೇಡನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸಬಾರದು. ಅವನು ನಿನ್ನ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲೇ ನಂಬಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾನಲ್ಲವೇ. ನಿನಗೆ ಅಪಕಾರ ಮಾಡುವವನ ಸಂಗಡ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಜಗಳವಾಡಬೇಡ. ಬಲಾತ್ಕಾರಿಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಕಿಚ್ಚು ಪಡುವುದರಿಂದ ಅವನ ನಡತೆಯ ಕಂದ ಆಲಿಸು, ನನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳು. ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಜೀವಮಾನದ ವರ್ಷಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚು. ನಾನು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಮಾರ್ಗವನ್ನು ಉಪದೇಶಿಸಿ ಧರ್ಮ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ನಡೆಸುವೆನು. ನೀನು ನಡೆಯುವಾಗ ನಿನ್ನ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಗೆ ಇಕ್ಕಟ್ಟಾಗುವುದು, ಓಡಿದರೆ ಮುಗಿಸುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸದುಪದೇಶವನ್ನು ಸಿಡಿಲು ಬಿಡಬೇಡ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡಿಕೋ. ಅದೇ ನಿನ್ನ ಜೀವವು. ದುಷ್ಟರ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿದಿರು, ಕೆಟ್ಟವರ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯಬೇಡ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ದೂರವಾಗಿರು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದರೆ ಓರೆಯಾಗಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಮುಂದೆ ನಡೆ. ಕೇಡು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಿಂದೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾರನ್ನಾದರೂ ಎಡವಿ ಬಿಡಿಸಿದರೆ ಅವರ ನಿಂದೆಗೆ ಭಂಗವಾಗುವುದು. ದುಷ್ಟತನವೇ ಅವರ ಅನ್ನ, ಬಲಾತ್ಕಾರವೇ ಅವರ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಾರಸಪಾನ. ನೀತಿವಂತರ ಮಾರ್ಗವು ಮಧ್ಯವಾದವರೆಗೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚುತ್ತಾ ಬರುವುದು. ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಬೆಳಕಿನಂತಿದ್ದೆ ದುಷ್ಟರ ಮಾರ್ಗವು ಕತ್ತಲಿನಿಂದ. ತಾವು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಡವಿಬಿಡವೆಂದು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದು. ನನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಲಾಲಿಸು, ನನ್ನ ನುಡಿಗೆ ಕಿವಿಗೊಡು. ನಿನ್ನ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯು ಅವುಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ತಪ್ಪದಿರಲಿ. ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ನಿನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟುಕೋ. ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊಂದುವವರಿಗೆ ಅವು ಜೀವವು, ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಅವೇ ಆರೋಗ್ಯವು. ನಿನ್ನ ಹೃದಯವನ್ನು ಬಹು ಜಾಗರೂಕತೆಯಿಂದ ಕಾಪಾಡಿಕೋ. ಅದರೊಳಗಿಂದ ಜೀವಧಾರೆಗಳು ಹೊರಡುವವು. ಸೊಟ್ಟು ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ನಿನ್ನಿಂದ ತೊಲಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ತುಟಿಗಳ ವಕ್ರತೆಯನ್ನು ದೂರ ಮಾಡು. ನಿಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಸಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳನ್ನು ನಿನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆಯೇ ಇರಲಿ. ನೀನು ನಡೆದ ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಸಮ ಮಾಡು. ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ದೃಢವಾಗಿರಲಿ. ಎಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿ ಬಲಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿ ತಿರುಗಬೇಡ. ನಿನ್ನ ಕಾಲನ್ನು ಕೇಡಿಗೆ ದೂರ ಮಾಡು. 5ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ. ಕಂದ, ನನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾನೋಪದೇಶವನ್ನು ಆಲಿಸು, ನನ್ನ ವಿವೇಕ ಬೋಧನೆಗೆ ಕಿವಿಗೊಡು. ಹೀಗಾದರೆ ನೀನು ಸಮೃದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನು ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳುವಿ. ನಿನ್ನ ತುಟಿಗಳು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಪಾಡುವುದು. ಜಾರಿಸಿಯ ತುಟಿಗಳನ್ನಾದರೂ ಜೇನುಗಳಾಗಿರುವುದು. ಅವಳ ಮಾತು ಎಣ್ಣೆಗಿಂತಲೂ ನಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವಳ ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶೇಷದಂತೆ ಕೈಕೋ. ಹಿಂಬೆಕತ್ತೆಯಿಂದ ತೀಕ್ಷ್ಣವಾಗುವವಳು. ಅವಳ ಮರಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಾ ಹಿಡಿದು ಹೋಗುವವಳು. ಅವಳ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಗಳು ಪಾತಾಳದ ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಹಿಡಿಯುವವು. ಅವಳ ನಡತೆಯು ಚರ್ಚಿತವಾಗಿರುವುದರಿಂದ ಅವಳು ಜೀವದ ಮಾರ್ಗವನ್ನು ವಿಚ್ಛೇದಿಸಲಾರದು. ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೀಗಿರಲು ಮಗನೇ, ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಕಿವಿಗಳು, ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳಿಂದ ತೊಲಗಬಾರದು. ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಗವು ಅವಳಿಗೆ ದೂರವಾಗಿರಲಿ. ಅವಳ ಮನೆ ಬಾಗಿಲಿನ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಹೊಂದಿದೆಯೋ ನೋಡಿಕೋ. ನಿನ್ನ ಪುರುಷತ್ವವು ಅಪರಾಧಿನಾದಿತು. ನಿನ್ನ ಸಂಪತ್ತನ್ನು ಕರೆದು ತುಂಬಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವವರು ನಿನ್ನ ಅನ್ಯನ ಮನೆಗೆ ನುಡಿಯುವಿ. ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನಿನ್ನ ದೇಹವೆಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣವಾಗುವುದು. ನೀನು ಅವಲೋಚಿಕೊಂಡು, ಅಯ್ಯೋ, ನಾನು ಸದುಪದೇಶವನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ದ್ವೇಷಿಸಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನನ್ನ ಹೃದಯವು ಬುದ್ಧಿವಾದವನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ತತ್ತರ ಮಾಡಿತು. ನನ್ನ ಬೋಧಕರ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಕೇಳದೆ ಹೋದೆ. ನನ್ನ ಉಪದೇಶಕರ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಕಿವಿಗೊಡಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲವಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಮಹಾಜನಸಭೆಯ ನಡುವೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿಗೂ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಎಂದು ಅಂದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಿ. ಸ್ವಂತ ಕೊಳದ ನೀರನ್ನು, ಸ್ವಂತ ಬಾವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉಕ್ಕುವ ಜಲವನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಕುಡಿ. ನಿನ್ನ ಹೊರತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬೇಲಿನಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ನಿನ್ನ ಕಾಲುವೆಗಳು ಚೌಕರ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹರಡಿ ಹರಿಯುವುದಂತಿರುತ್ತವೆ. ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ನಿನ್ನವುಗಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರವೇ ಹರಿಯಲಿ. ಪರರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ಕುಡಿಯಬಾರದು. ನಿನ್ನ ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ದೇವರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಲಿ. ನಿನ್ನ ಯವನ ಕಾಲದ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆನಂದಿಸು. ಆಕೆಯ ಮನೋರೂಪವಾದ ಜಿಂಕೆಯಂತೆಯೂ ಅಂದವಾದ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಇರುವವಳು. ಆಕೆಯ ಸ್ತನಗಳು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ತೃಪ್ತಿಪಡಿಸಲಿ. ಆಕೆಯ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಇವನಾಗಿರುವವಳು. ಮಗನು, ಏಕೆ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭ್ರಮೆಗೊಳ್ಳುವಿ? ಅನ್ಯರ ಎದೆಯನ್ನು ತುಂಬಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳು ಯೆಹೋವನಿಗೆ ಕಾಣುತ್ತವೆ. ಆತನು ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ನಡತೆಯನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸುವವನಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ದುಷ್ಟರ ದುಷ್ಕೃತ್ಯಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಅವನು ಆಕ್ರಮಿಸುವವನು. ಅವರ ಪಾಪಶಾಪಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಅವನು ಬಂಧಿಸುವವನು. ಸ್ವದೇಶದ ಕೊರತೆಯಿಂದಲೇ ಸಾಯುವವನು. ತನ್ನ ಅಡ್ಡಿಮುಖನಿಂದಲೇ ಪ್ರಧಾನನಾಗುವವನು.
6ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ 10ನೇ ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮೈಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡ ಯಾರು. ಹಾಗೆ Proverbs chapter 6 to 10 ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ. ನಂತರ 7 to 11 to 15 ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಭಾರತ್.
Proverbs chapter 6. Have you promised to be responsible for someone else's debts, my son? Have you been caught by your own words, trapped by your own promises? Well then, my son, you are in that man's power, but this is how to get out of it. Hurry to him and beg him to release you. Don't let yourself go to sleep, or you will stop to rest. Get out the trap like a bird or a deer that escaping from a hunter. Lazy people should learn a lesson from the way hands lead. They have no leader, chief, or ruler, but they have stored up their food during the summer, getting ready for winter. How long is the lazy man going to lie in bed? When is he ever going to get up? I'll just take a short nap, he says. I'll fold my hands and rest a while, but while he sleeps, poverty will attack him like an armed robber. Worthless people, her mind that thinks of wicked plans, feet that carry off to do evil, a witness who tells one lie after another, and a man who stirs up trouble among friends. Do what your father tells you, my son, and never forget what your mother taught you. Keep their words with you always, locked in your heart. Their teachings will lead you when you travel, protect you at night, and advise you during the day. Their instructions are shining light. Their corrections can teach you how to live. It can keep you away from bad women, from deceptive words of other men's wives. Don't be tempted by their beauty. Don't be trapped by their flirting eyes. A man can hire a prostitute for the price of a loaf of bread, but adultery will cost him all he has. Can you carry fire against your chest without burning your clothes? Can you walk on hot coals without burning your feet? It is just as dangerous to sleep with another man's wife. Whoever does it will suffer. People don't despise a thief if he steals food when he is hungry. Yet if he is caught, he must pay back 7 times more. He must give up everything he has. But a man who commits adultery isn't innocent. He is just destroying himself. But he will be dishonored and beaten up. He will be permanently disgraced. A husband is never angrier than when he is jealous. His revenge knows no limit. He will not accept any payment. No amount of gift will satisfy his anger. Remember what I say, my son, and never forget I tell you to do. Do what I say and you will live. Be as careful to follow my teaching as you have to protect your eyes. To the foolish man she says, stolen water is sweeter, stolen bread tastes better. Her victims do not know that the people die who go to her house, that those who have already entered her now deep in the words of the dead. Chapter 10. These are the Solomon's proverbs. A wiser son makes his father proud of him. A foolish one brings his mother grief. Well that you get by dishonesty will do you no good, but honesty can save your life. The Lord will not let good people go hungry, but He will keep the wicked from getting what they want. Being lazy will make you poor, but hard work will make you rich. A sensible man gathers the crops when they are ready. It is a disgrace to sleep through the time of harvest. A good man will receive blessing. A wicked man's word hide a violent nature. Good people will remember as a blessing, but the wicked will soon be forgotten. Sensible people accept good advice. People who talk foolishly will come to view. Honest people are safe and secure, but the dishonest will be caught. Someone who hold back the truth causes trouble, but one who openly criticizes works for peace. A good man's words are fountain of life, but a wicked man's word hide a violent nature. Hate stirs up trouble, but love overlooks all offenses. Intelligent people talk sense, but stupid people need to be punished. The wise get all the knowledge they can, but when fools speak, trouble is not far off. Wealth protects the rich, poverty destroys the poor. The reward for doing good is life, but sin leads only to more sin. People who listen when they are corrected will live, but those who will not admit that they are wrong are in danger. A man who hides his hatred is a liar. Anyone who spreads gossip is a fool. The more you talk, the more likely you are to sin. If you are wise, you will keep quiet. A good man's words are like pure silver. A wicked man's ideas are worthless. A good man's word will benefit many people, but you can kill yourself with stupidity. It is the Lord's blessing that makes you wealthy. Hard work can make you more richer. It is foolish to enjoy doing wrong. Intelligent people take pleasure in wisdom. The righteous get what they want, but the wicked will get what they fear most. Storms come and the wicked are blown away, but honest people are always safe. Never get a lazy man to do something for you. He will be irritated as vinegar on your teeth or smoke in your eyes. Obey the Lord and you will live longer. The wicked die before their time. The hopes of good men lead to joy, but wicked people can look forward to nothing. The Lord protects honest people, but destroys those who do wrong. Righteous people will always have security, but the wicked will not survive in the land. Righteous people speak wisdom, but the tongue that speaks evil will be strong. Righteous people know the kind thing to say, but the wicked are always saying things that hurt.
Mr. Bharat, ನಾನೋತಿಗಳು 11ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ 15ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯಗಳು. Proverbs chapter 11 to 15, ನೀತಿಮೊಳಿಗಳು 13ರಿಂದ 15
Proverbs chapter 11. Of what's balance is obedience to the Lord, but a just way is delight. When the pride cometh, then cometh shame, but in the lowly is wisdom. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perseverance of the transgressions shall be destroyed them. Right? Riches profit not in the day of the earth, but righteousness delivereth from the death. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but the transgression shall be taken in their own naughtiness. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of the unjust man perisheth. The righteousness is delivered out of the trouble, and the wicked cometh in his sleep. An hypocrite with his mouth destroyed his neighbor, but through knowledge shall be just delivered. When his poor will be the righteousness, the city rejoices, and when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He that is void of the wisdom is favored, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. A tabernacle revealeth secrets, but he that is a faithful spirit consulteth the matter. Where is the counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. He that is shorty for a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hath certified is sure. A gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong man retaineth justice. The merciful man doth good to his own soul, but that is a cruel trouble his own flesh. The wicked work a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be sure reward. As righteousness tendeth to life, so he that preacheth evil preserveth it to his own death. They that are forward heart or abomination to the people, but such as for upright is their way for his delight. Though man join his hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteousness shall be delivered. As a jewel of gold is in the smith's stone, so is fair woman which is without discretion. The desire of the righteousness is only good, but expectation of the wicked is poor. There is that scattereth and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than his meat, but is rendered to poverty. The laborer's soul shall be made fat, and that the waterer shall be watered also himself. He that withholdeth come, the people shall lose him, but the blessing shall be upon the head of him that shall it. He that delight diligently seeketh God for great favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him. He that treasureth in his riches shall be fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. He that travelleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. The fruit with the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls in his wise. Where the righteous shall be decompressed in the earth much more than wicked and the sinner. Chapter 12. Whose loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hath reproof is refuse. A good man obtaineth for favor of the Lord, but a man wicked desires will be condemned. A man shall be not established by the wickedness, but the root of the righteousness shall not be moved. A righteousness woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is the odiousness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. The words of the wicked are to lie in a wait for a blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteousness shall be stand. A man shall be governed according to his wisdom, but he that is of reverse heart shall be dispersed. He that is a dispersed and hath of a servant is better than he honoureth himself and taketh it. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are ruined. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with the bread, but he that followeth men's person is wide of understanding. The wicked of the desire of net of evil man, but the root of the righteous shall be fruit. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but they shall come out of the trouble. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of the man's hand shall be rendered unto him. The way of the fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A fool's wealth is presently known, but a prudent man troubleth shame. He that speaketh truth with shaveth for righteousness, but a false witness decide. There is a shaketh like the presence of the sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. The lip of the truth shall be established forever, but a living tongue is but for a moment. Besides, it is the heart of them, and that imagine evil, but to the counselors of the peace is joy. They shall bestow evil and happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with the mischief. Living lips are obligation to the Lord, but they that deed truly are his delight. A pretend consider knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaim foolishness. The hand of the delightment shall bear good, but the slothful shall be under tribute. Happiness in the heart of man is a stoop, but a good word maketh his glad. The righteousness is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked shall delude them. The slothful of man righteousness, but that which he took in his hunting, but the substance of a delusion man is precious. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. Chapter 13. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. A man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of his transgression shall eat violence. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that openeth his wide lips shall have destruction. The soul of the servant and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made poor. The righteous man hateth loving, but the wicked man is loathsome and cometh to shame. Righteousness is kept in that is upright in the way, but wickedness overthrown in the sinner. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, they have great righteous. The ransom of man's life is riches, but the poor are not tribute. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. Only the pride cometh constitution by, but with the well-advised is wisdom. Wealth governed by the vanity shall be diminished, but gathered by labor shall increase. Oh, deferred make the art see, but when the deserved cometh, it is a tree of life. Whose disciples the word shall be destroyed, but in the friendship of commandment shall be rewarded. The law of the wise is a fountain of life to depart from the sinners of the dead. Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressions is love. Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool leaveth open his mouth. A wicked messenger falleth into mischief, but the faithful messenger is heard. Protein and shame of shall be to him, and the refuse instruction, but he that he rather than reproof shall be honored. The result accomplished is sweet to the soul, but is abomination to fools to depart from evil. He will welcome with this wise man shall be wise, but companion of fools shall be destroyed. Even to sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repeat. A good man liveth in inordinance to the children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the judge. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that destroyed from want of judgment. He separate his road, that is good, but the love is consistent in obedience. The righteous begin in the satisfying of the soul, but the beauty of the wicked shall want. Chapter 14. Where is wise woman prepared for her house, but the foolish one wicked is done with her hands. He that walketh in this uprightness with the Lord, but that is preserved in his best discipline. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall be preserved them. There no oxen or the crib is clean, but the much increase is by the strength of ox. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. A scholar gathereth wisdom and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that understands. Go from the presence of the foolish man, without prisoners not in him the lives of knowledge. The wisdom of the present is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Fools make a mock of sin, but among the righteous there is favor. The heart knoweth his own bitterness, and the stranger doth not be interminable with his joy. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. There is way which seemeth right unto a man, and yet therefore are the ways of death. Even in the laughter the heart is sorrowful, and the end of the mirth is heaviness. The backslidder in his heart shall be filled with his own ways, and good man shall be satisfied from himself. The simple dwelleth for every word, but the prudent man looketh only his glory. A wise wisdom feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool forget is confident. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked is ignorant. A simple inherent folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil go before the God, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich hath many friends. He that deceiveth his neighbor sinneth, but that hath mercy on the poor happy is he. Do they not eat that devise evil, but mercy and truth shall be to them that devise good. In all labor there is a profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to beggary. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the foolishness of the fools is folly. A true witness delivereth souls, but a deceitful witness speaketh lies. In the fear of the Lord is a strong confidence, and his children shall have a space of refuge. The fear of the Lord is fountain of life, to depart from the snares of the devil. In the multitude of the people in the king's honor, but in the want of people is a distraction of tricks. He that is slow in the great of the understanding, but that is asking of the spirit excellent folly. Observe not his life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones. He that oppresseth the poor reproaches the maker, but the honor in the mercy of the poor. The wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous hath hope in his death. Wisdom is in his art of living, that hath understanding, but that which is in the mystery of fools is made known. Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The king's favor is toward a wise servant, but his word is against him that was shame. Chapter 15. Of soft answer turneth away what, but gracious words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise accept knowledge or aright, but the mouth of the fools breathe of the foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is in the tree of life, but prisoners' strength is the bridge in his spirit. A fool dissipate his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. In his house of the righteousness is much pleasure, but in the renews of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise displays knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doth not so. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord, but he loveth him that followeth of the righteousness. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that rather reproof shall die. As the destruction are before the Lord, how much more then the hearts of children of man. A stronger loveth not that reproof him, neither will we go unto the wise. A mercy art made cheerful conscience, but the sorrow of the heart, the spirit is broken. The heart of it, the understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth of foolishness. All the days of the applicated are evil, but that is bearing up and hath of continual feast. Better is seated with fear his love, then several of oxen and protect them. Powerful a man stripped, but either is slowly to anger with his street. The way of servant, the man is the edge of the thrones, but the way of the righteousness is made plain. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despite his mother. Folly is a joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man understanding truth and uprightly. Without counsel, proposers are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth, and his word spoken in due season, how good it is. The way of life is about to the wise, that he may depart from penny. The Lord will destroy the house of the proud, but he will never establish the border of the widow. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant words. He that is greedy of gain reveleth his own house, but the anti-gift shall yield. The heart of the righteous readiness to the answer, but the mouth of the wicked blurreth out evil things. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he is after the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart, and a good report make the bones firm. The ear of the righteous and reproof of life appeareth among the wise. He that refuses instructions dispute his own soul, but his reproof getteth understanding. The fear of the Lord is in instruction of wisdom, and for honor is humility.
Divide his spoil with the proud. Whoever gives speech incenses. Good sense is a fountain of life to him who has it, but the instruction of fools is foolish. The heart of the wise makes his speech delicious, and adds to his lips. Gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body. There is a way that seems right to a man, but it ends is the way of death. A worthless appetite works for him, his mouth argues him wrong. A worthless man's plots evil, and his speech is like a torching fire. A dishonest man spreads truth with a whisperous scratches close friends. A man of violence entices his neighbor and leads him away that is not good. Whoever brings his eye plans dishonest thing. He who pursues his lips brings evil to pass. Grey hairs is crown of glory. It is gained in a righteous life. Who is slow to anger is better than the mighty. And he who rules his pen, then he who takes a city. The Lord is cast into the land, but its every decision is from the Lord. Chapter 17. Better is a dry morsel with quiet than a house full of feasting with stew. A servant who deals wisely will rule over a son who has shamefully, and will snare the inheritance as one of the brothers. And kusat is for silver, and the firmament is for gold. And the Lord tests hearts, and evildoers listens the wicked lips, and a liar gives ear to mischiefs, and whoever mocks the poor insults his needs. You is glad to calamity who will not go unpunished. Grandchildren are the crown of the East, and the glory of children is their father. Fine speech is not becoming to the fool, but still less is false speech to a prince. A bride is like a magic stone in the eye of the one who gives it. Whoever he turns the prospers, whoever covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates close friends. A rebuke goes deeper than a man of understanding, than 100 blows into a fool. An evil man seeks only rebellion, and a cruel messenger will be sent against him. Let a man meet a sheep here, rope to her cubs, rather than a fool in his folly. If anyone returns evil for good, evil will not depart from his house. The beginning of truth is like letting out water. Go quiet before the quarrel breaks out. He who justifies the wicked condemns the righteous, and both are like abomination to the Lord. Why should a fool have money in his hand to give wisdom, and when he has no sense, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity, and who lacks sense gives a pledge, and puts up security in the presence for his neighbor. Whoever loves transgressions loves truth, and he who makes his door by seeks destruction. A man of proud heart does not discover good, and one with a dishonest falls in calamity. He who steals a fool gets himself sorrow, and the father of a fool has no joy. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dies on the bones. The wicked accepts a pride in secret to prevent the way of justice. The discerning gets his face towards wisdom, To impose a fine on a righteous man is not good, not to strike the noble for their uprightness. Whoever restrains his words has knowledge, and he who has a good spirit is a man of understanding. Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is divinely intelligent. Chapter 18. Whoever insults himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all some judgment. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. When wickedness comes, contempt comes also, and with dishonest comes disappear. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters. Among the fountain of wisdom is a it is not good to be partial to the wicked or to put the righteous of justice. A fool sleeps with walk like a fight, and his mouth invites a pity. A fool's mouth is ruin, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of the Spirit are like delicious morsels. They go down into the inner parts of the body. Whoever is glad in his word is a brother to him who destroys. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous of man runs into it and is safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and like a high wall in his imagination. Before destructions in man's heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor. If one gives an answer before he hears, foolishness is fully and shame. A man's spirit will endure sickness, but the precious will spirit who can hear. An intelligent heart acquires knowledge, but the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. A man's gift may make room for him and bring him before the great. The one who seeks his cast first seeks right, until the other comes and examines him. And God puts an end to battle and decides between powerful contempts. A brother offered is more unyielding than a strong city, and clarity is like the bars of castle. From the fruit of a man's mouth his stomach is satisfied. He is satisfied by the end of his lips. Death is life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will yield fruits. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. The poor use impetus, but the rich answer roughly. A man of many contents with many may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Chapter 19. Better is a poor person who walks in his integrity than one who is crude in speech and is a fool. Desire without knowledge is not good, and whoever makes haste with his feet misses his way. When a man's folly brings his way to ruin, his heart rages against the Lord. Wealth brings many new friends, but a poor man is deserted by his friend. A false witness is not go unpunished, and who breathes out lips will not escape. Many seeks the favor of the generation man, and everyone is a friend of a man who gives gift. All the poor man's brothers hate him, but many more of his friends go far from him. He pursues them with words, but does not have them. Whoever gets sense love with his whole soul, he who keep understanding will discover. A false witness will not go unpunished, and who preach make one slow to anger, and it is glory to overlook an offense. A king's wrath is like growing of a lion, but his favor is like dew on the grass. A foolish son is loyal to his father, and a wife's quarreling is a counter to dripping of rain. House and wealth is inherited from father, but the prudent wife is from the Lord. Slothfulness cast into a deep sleep, and an idle person will suffer hunger. Whoever keeps the commandment keeps his life, and who despises ways will die. Whoever is generation to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will not repay him to death. Discipline your son, and there is hope. Do not set your heart on putting him to death. A man is great wrath will pay the plenty, and if you deliver him, you will only have to do it again. Listen to advice and accept instruction, and you may gain wisdom in the future. Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is purpose to the Lord that will stand. What is desired is a man to instead love, and a poor man's is better than the liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life. Whoever has his rest satisfied, and he will not be visited by harm. The sluggard buries his hand in the dish, and will not even bring it back to his mouth. Strike the scoffer, and the simple will learn prudence. Reprove a man of understanding, and he will gain knowledge. He who does violence to his father and chases away his mother is a son who brings shame and reproach. Keep instruction, my son, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. A worthless witness mocks at justice, and a mouth that wicked devours iniquity. Condemnation is ready for scoffers, and beating is for the bags to food. Chapter 20. Wine is a strong drink, a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. The terror of a king is like the growing of a lion. Whoever provokes him to anger forfeits his life. It is an honor for a man to keep aloof from strife, but every fool will be quarreling, and slander does not plow in the tongue. He will seek a harvest and have nothing. The purpose of a man's heart is like deep water, but a man understanding will draw it out. May a man proclaim his own steadfast love, but a faithful man who can find the righteous who walks in his integrity. Blessed are his children are he, and a king who sits on the throne of judgment. All evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have made my heart pure? I can clean from my sin. Unequal weights and unequal measures are both like an abomination to the Lord. Even the children make himself know by his acts, by whether his conduct is pure and upright. The hearing are the seeing eye. The Lord has made them both. Love not sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes, and you will have plenty of bread. Bad, says the buyer, but when he goes away, then he boasts. There is gold and abundance of costly stones, but the lips of knowledge are with precious bread. Take a man's garment when he has put up security of a stranger. He hold in a pledge when he puts up security for its use. Whoever goes about slandering rebels' secrets, therefore do not associate with a simple babbler. If one curses his father on his mother, his lamp will be put out in utter darkness. An inheritance gained hastily in the beginning will not be blessed in the end. Do not say, I will repay evil. Wait for the Lord, and He will deliver you. Unequal days are an abomination to the Lord. The false scales are not good. A man's steps are from the Lord, and then can man understand his way. It is a snare to say rashly it is holy, and to reflect only after making boast. A man king blows the wicked and drives the weak over them. The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all his innermost parts. Steadfast love and faithfulness preserve the king, and by steadfast love his throne is undead. The glory of men in their strength, by the splendor of old men in their grey hair. Blow the wood, cleanse away evil. Strokes make clean the innermost parts.
Proverbs chapter 21 to 25. Sister Deepu. 26 to 31, Sister Jasmine. And the Prasangi, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 to 6, Sanjay. 7 to 12, Brother David. Song of Songs, chapter 1 to 4, Brother Lawrence. 5 to 8, Sister Angel. Almost எல்லாரும் வந்து அதுக்கப்புறம் ஏசாய் அவர் வந்து Brother Vasu.
ಜ್ಞಾನೋಕ್ತಗಳು 26ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ. ರಾಜನ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪಗಳು ಯೆಹೋವನ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರಿನ ಕಡಲುಗಳಂತೆ ಇವೆ. ತನಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ತಿರುಗಿಸುತ್ತಾನೆ. ನರನ ನಡತೆಯು ಸ್ವಂತ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಟ್ಟಗೆ. ಯೆಹೋವನ ಹೃದಯಗಳನ್ನೇ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸುವನು. ಯಜ್ಞಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ನೀತಿ ನ್ಯಾಯಗಳನ್ನು ಯೆಹೋವನಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ. ಗರ್ಭದ ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಕೊಬ್ಬಿದ್ದ ಹೃದಯ ದುಷ್ಟರ ಕಾಗೆ. ಇವು ಧರ್ಮ ವಿರುದ್ಧ. ಶ್ರಮಶೀಲರಿಗೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಯತ್ನಗಳಿಂದ ಸಮೃದ್ಧಿ, ಆತುರ ಪಡುವವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೊರತೆಯೇ. ಸುಳ್ಳಿನಿಂದ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಸಂಪತ್ತು ಅಭೆಯಂತೆ, ಆಸ್ತಿರ ಮೃತ್ಯುಪಾಶದಂತೆ ನಾಶಕರ. ದುಷ್ಟರ ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನು ನಿರಾಕರಿಸುವ ಕಾರಣ ಅವರ ಬಲಾತ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಅವರನ್ನು ಎಳೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವುದು. ದೋಷಿಯ ದಾರಿ ನುಂಗು, ಶುದ್ಧನ ನಡತೆ ಸರಳ. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಗಳಗಂಟೆಯ ಜೊತೆಗಿರುವುದಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಮಳಿಗೆಯ ಒಂದು ಮೂಲೆಯು ವಾಸಿಸುವುದೇ ಬೇಸು. ದುರಾತ್ಮನ ಕೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿರುವವನು ನೆರೆಯವನಿಗೂ ದಯ ತೋರಿಸುವನು. ಧರ್ಮನಿಂದಕನಿಗೂ ದಂಡನೆಯಾದರೆ ನುಡಿದ ಮಂದಮತಿಯು ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯುವನು. ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆಯಾದರೆ ತಾನು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದುವನು. ಧರ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪನು ಅಧರ್ಮಿಯನ್ನು ಮನೆಯನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ತಂದು ಅಧರ್ಮಿಗಳನ್ನು ತೊಲಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಗೆ ತೊಬ್ಬುವನು. ಬಡವನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಕಿವಿಮುಚ್ಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವವನು ತಾನೇ. ಮರಳುವಾಗ ಯಾರು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡರು. ಗುಪ್ತ ಬಹುಮಾನ ಕೋಪವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸುವುದು. ಮಾಡಲಿರಟ ಲಂಚವು ಬಲು ಸಿಟ್ಟು ನಡೆಸುವುದು ಆಗುವುದು. ನ್ಯಾಯ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳನ್ನು ಶಿಷ್ಟರಿಗೆ ಸಂತೋಷ, ಕೆಡುಕರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳು. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಮಾರ್ಗದಿಂದ ತಪ್ಪಿದವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೇತ ಸಮೂಹವೇ ವಿಶ್ರಾಂತಿ ಸ್ಥಾನ. ಭೋಗಸಕ್ತನು ಕೊರತೆಪಡುವನು. ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಾರಸವನ್ನು ಸುಗಂಧ ತೈಲವನ್ನು ಆಶಿಸುವವನು ನಿರ್ಭಾಗ್ಯವಂತನು. ಶಿಷ್ಟನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯಾಗಿ ದುಷ್ಟನು ಸತ್ಯವಂತರಿಗೆ ಬದಲಾಗಿ ದ್ರೋಹಿಗೆ ದಂಡನೆಗೆ ಇಡು. ಕಾಡುವ ಜಗಳಗಂಟೆಯ ಸಹವಾಸಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಕಾಡಿನ ವಾಸವೇ ಲೇಸು. ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ನಿವಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಣ್ಣೆಯ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಸಂಪತ್ತು ಇರುವವು. ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯನ್ನು ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನುಂಗಿ ಬಿಡುವನು. ನೀತಿ ಕುಂಭಗಳನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕುವವನು ನೀತಿ ಜೀವಕೀರ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯುವನು. ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ಬಲಿಷ್ಠರ ಪಟ್ಟಣವನ್ನು ಲಗ್ಗೆ ಹತ್ತಿ ಅವರು
ಅದನ್ನು ತಿನ್ನು. ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಇರುವುದೆಂದು ತಿಳಿದಿರು. ಅದನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಫಲಕಾರ ಬರುವುದು. ನಿನ್ನ ನಿರೀಕ್ಷೆ ನಿರರ್ಥಕವಾಗುವುದು. ದುಷ್ಟನೇ ಶಿಷ್ಟನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೊಂಚ ಹಾಕಬೇಡ, ಅವನು ನಿವಾಸ ಸುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಡ. ಶಿಷ್ಟನು 7 ಸಾರಿ ಬಿತ್ತಲು ಮತ್ತೆ ಏಳುವನು, ದುಷ್ಟನು ಕೇಳಿನಿಂದ ಬಿದ್ದು ಹೋಗುವನು. ನಿನ್ನ ಶತ್ರು ಬಿದ್ದರೆ ಹಿಗ್ಗಬೇಡ, ಎಳೆಯುವುದರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಹೃದಯವು ಹರ್ಷಿಸದಿರಲಿ. ಯೆಹೋವನು ನಿನ್ನ ಹರ್ಷವನ್ನು ಕಂಡು ಬೇಸರಗೊಂಡು ತನ್ನ ಕೋಪವನ್ನು ಅವನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ತಿರುಗಿಸನು. ಕೆಳಗರ ಮೇಲೆ ಉರಿಗೊಳ್ಳದರು, ದುಷ್ಟನು ನೋಡಿ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಕಿಚ್ಚು ಪಡಬೇಡ. ಕೆಟ್ಟವನಿಗೆ ಶುಭಕಾಲವೂ ಬಾರದು, ದುಷ್ಟನು ದೀಪವು ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಹೋಗುವುದು. ಮಗನೇ, ಯೆಹೋವನಿಗೆ ರಾಜನಿಗೂ ಭಯಪಡು, ತಿರುಗಿ ಬೀಳುವವರ ಗೋಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಡ. ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರು ವಿಧಿಸುವ ವಿಪತ್ತು ಪಕ್ಕನೆ ಸಂಭವಿಸುವುದು, ಅವರಿಂದಾಗುವ ನಾಶವು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿದಿತ್ತು? ಇವು ಕೂಡ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳ ಯುಕ್ತಿಗಳೇ. ನ್ಯಾಯ ವಿಚಾರಣೆಯ ಪಕ್ಷಪಾತವು ಧರ್ಮವಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವನು ಅಧರ್ಮಿಗೆ ನೀನು ಧರ್ಮಾತ್ಮ ಎಂದು ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾನೋ ಅವನನ್ನು ಜನರು ಶಪಿಸುವರು, ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳು ದೂಷಿಸುವರು. ದುಷ್ಟನು ಬದಲಿಸುವವರಿಗಾದರೂ ಶುಭವಾಗುವುದು, ಸುಖಕರವಾದ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದವು ಲಭಿಸುವುದು. ಯಥಾರ್ಥವಾದ ಉತ್ತರವು ತುಟಿಗೆ ಮುತ್ತು. ನಿನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸದ ಸಾಮಾನುಗಳನ್ನು ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಹಣಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿವೇಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿದ್ಧಪಡಿಸು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಮನೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟು. ಕಾರಣವಿಲ್ಲದೆ ನುಡಿಯವನಿಗೆ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಡ. ಮಾತಿನಿಂದ ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡುವೆಯಾ? ಅವನು ನನಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತೆ ನಾನು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಮಾಡುವೆನು, ಅವನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ತೀರಿಸಲು ಅಂದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಡ. ಸೋಮರಿಯ ಹೊಲದ ಮೇಲೆಯೂ ಬುದ್ಧಿಹೀನನ ತೋಟದ ಮೇಲೆಯೂ ಹಾದು ಹೋದನು. ಆಹಾ, ಮುಳ್ಳುಗಿಡಗಳು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹರಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದವು, ಕಳೆಗಳು ಅದನ್ನು ಮುಚ್ಚಿದವು, ಅದರ ಕಲ್ಲಿನ ಗೋಡೆಗೆ ಹಾಳಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆಗ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಟ್ಟನು, ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕನಾದನು. ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿದ್ದೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ ತುಸ ತೂಕಡಿಕೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೊಂಚ ನಿದ್ದೆಗಾಗಿ ಕೈ ಮುಗಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವೆನು ಅಂದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವೆಯಾ? ಬಡತನವು ದಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಹಾಗೂ ಕೊರತೆಯು ಪಂಜಗಳಂತೆಯೂ ನಿನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳುವವು. 25ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ. ಇವು ಕೂಡ ಸೊಲೊಮೋನನ ಜ್ಞಾನೋಕ್ತಿಗಳೇ. ಯೆಹೂದದ ಅರಸನಾದ ಹಿಜ್ಕೀಯನ ಲೇಖಕರು ಇವುಗಳನ್ನು ಸಂಗ್ರಹಿಸಿ ಬರೆದರು. ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ರಹಸ್ಯ ಮಾಡುವುದು ದೇವರ ಪ್ರಭಾವ, ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ವಿಮರ್ಶೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು ರಾಜನ ಪ್ರಭಾವ. ಆಕಾಶವು ಉನ್ನತ, ಭೂಮಿಯು ಹಾಗಾದ, ರಾಜನ ಹೃದಯವು ಅಗೋಚರ. ಬೆಳ್ಳಿಯಿಂದ ಕಲ್ಮಶಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಹಾಕಿದರೆ ಅಕ್ಕಸಾಲಿಗನಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಪಾತ್ರೆಯಾಗುವುದು. ರಾಜನ ಸಮ್ಮುಖದಿಂದ ದುಷ್ಟರು ತೆಗೆದುಹಾಕಿದರೆ ರಾಜನ ಸಿಂಹಾಸನವು ಧರ್ಮದಿಂದ ಸ್ಥಿರವಾಗುವುದು. ರಾಜನ ಸನ್ನಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಡ, ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರಿಗೆ ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸುವ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತುಕೊಳ್ಳದಿರು. ನೀನು ಪ್ರಭುವನ್ನು ದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರಲು ಅವನ ಸಮಕ್ಷಮ ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ನುಗ್ಗಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಇನ್ನೂ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾ ಎಂದು ಕರೆಯಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದು ಲೇಸು. ದುಡುಕಿ ನೆರೆಯವನ ಮೇಲೆ ವ್ಯಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೂ ಹೋಗಬೇಡ. ಅವನು ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾನ ಕಳೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬಲ್ಲೆ ನೋಡಿಕೋ. ವ್ಯಾಜ ಮಾಡಿದವನ ಸಂಗಡಲೇ ಅದನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚಿಸುವ ಒಬ್ಬನ ಗುಟ್ಟನ್ನು ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಬೇಡ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕೇಳುವವನು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ದೋಷಿಸಾನು, ನಿನಗೆ ಬಂದ ಅಪಕೀರ್ತಿಯೂ ಹೋಗದು. ಸಮಯೋಚಿತವಾದ ಮಾತುಗಳು ಬೆಳ್ಳಿಯ ನಕಾಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಖಚಿತವಾದ ಬಂಗಾರದ ಹಣ್ಣುಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಮಾನ. ಕೇಳುವ ಕಿವಿಗೆ ಮುಟ್ಟುವ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಾದವು ಹೊನ್ನಿನ ಮುರುವಿಗೂ ಅಪರಂಜಿಯ ಆಭರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಸಮಾನ. ಸುಗ್ಗಿ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಮದ ಶೈತ್ಯವು ಹೇಗೋ, ಕಳಿಸಿದ ಒಡೆಯವರಿಗೂ ಆಪ್ತದೂತನು ಹಾಗೆ ಇದ್ದ. ಬರಿಗಾಳಿ ಮೋಡಗಳು ಹೇಗೋ ದಾನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತಾನೆಂದು ಸುಳ್ಳಾಡಿ ಜಂಬು ಮಾಡುವವನು ಹಾಗೆಯೇ. ದೀರ್ಘಶಾಂತಿಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರಭುವನ್ನು ಸಮ್ಮತಿಪಡಿಸಬಹುದು, ಮೃದುವಚನವು ಎಲುಬನ್ನು ಮುರಿಯುವುದು. ಜೇನು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತು, ಮಿತವಾಗಿ ತಿನ್ನು, ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ತುಂಬ ತಿಂದರೆ ಕಾಲಿಬಿಟ್ಟೆಯೇ. ನೆರೆಯವನು ಬೇಸರಗೊಂಡು ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪರೂಪವಾಗಿ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಇಡು. ನೆರೆಯವನ ಮೇಲೆ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಸಾಕ್ಷಿಯನ್ನು ಹೇಳುವವನು ಚಮಟಿಗೆ ಕತ್ತಿ, ಚೂಪಾದ ಬಾಣ ಇವುಗಳೇ. ಕಷ್ಟಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ದ್ರೋಹಿಯಲ್ಲಿಡುವ ನಂಬಿಕೆಯು ಮುರುಕ ಹಲ್ಲು, ಜಾರುವ ಕಾಲು. ಮನಗುಂದಿದವನಿಗೆ ಸಂಗೀತ ಹಾಡುವುದು. ಚಳಿದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ತೆಗೆದು ಹಾಗೂ ಸೋಡಾ ಉಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಹುಳಿ ಒಯ್ದು ಹಾಕು. ನಿನ್ನ ಕೈಗೆ ಹಸಿದಿದ್ದರೆ ಅನ್ನ ಬಿಡು, ಬಾಯಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ನೀರು ಕೊಡು. ಹೀಗೆ ಅವನ ತಲೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟರಿಸುವಂತಾಗುವುದು. ಯೆಹೋವನೇ ನಿನಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ಕೊಡುವೆನು. ಬಡಗಾಣ ಗಾಳಿ ಮಳೆ ಬರ ಮಾಡುವುದು.
As a snow in summer and during the harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. Like a flitting cloud, like a flying swallow, so is a curse without cause shall not alight. A whip of a horse, a brill of a donkey, and a rod for the fool's back. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. He who sends a message by the hand of a fool cuts off his own feet and drinks violence. Like the legs of the lady that hung limp is the proud in the mouth of fools. Like one who binds a stone in a sling, he who gives honor to a fool. Like a thorn that goes into the hand of a drunkard is a prop in the mouth of the fools. The great God who formed everything gives the fool is higher, and the transgressor his ways. So transgresses his wages as a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. Do you see a man wise in his own eye? There is more hope for a fool than for him. The lazy man says there is a lion in the road, a flies down in the street. As the door turns on its springs, and so does the lazy man on his bed. The lazy man buries the hand in the bowl, it wearies him to bring it back to his mouth. The lazy man is wiser in his own eye than 7 men who can answer sensibly. He who passes by and lives in a quarrel, not his own, is like one who takes a dog by the ears. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows and dead is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, I was only joking. Where there is no wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no tale-bearer, strife ceases. As charcoal is burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. The words of the tale-bearer as like the sea struggles, and they go down into the inmost being. Fluent lips with a wicked heart, and like a earthenware covered with silver doors, he who hates discusses it with his lips and lays up it within himself. When he speaks kindly, do not believe him, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness will be revealed before the assembly. Whoever digs up it falls into it, and whoever rolls a stone will have it rolled back on him. A lying tongue hates those who are crushed by it, and a flattering mouth works vain. Proverbs chapter 27. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what day may bring forth. Let another man praise you, not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. A stone is heavy and sand is weighty, as a fool's wrath is heavier, and both of them. Wrath is cruel and anger torment, but who is able to stand before jealousy? Open rebuke is better than love carefully counsel. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Satisfied soul loads the honeycomb, but the hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. Like a bird that wanders from its nest is a man who wanders from his place. Ointment and perfume delight the art, and the sweetness of a man's friend gives delight to his hearty counsel. Do not forsake your own friend or your father's friend, nor go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. My son, be wise and make the heart glad, that I may answer him who reproaches me. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself. The simple pass on and are punished. Take the garment of him who is surety for a stranger, and hold it in pledge when he is surety for a seductress. He who blesses his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it will be counted a curse to him. A continual joking on a very rainy day, and a contentious woman are alike. Whoever restrains her restrains the wind, and grasps oil with his right hand. As iron sharpens iron, so the man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Whoever keeps the victory will eat its fruit. So who waits on his master will be honored. As in the water face reflects face, so a man's heart reveals the man. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. The refining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, and the man is valued by others, save of him. Though you grind a fool in a mortar with a pestle along with crushed grain, yet his foolishness will depart from him. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. For riches are not forever, for nor does a crown endure to all generation. When they raise you, and usury and extortion, gathers it from him who will pity the poor. One who turns away his ear from hearing of law, even his tail is an abomination. Whoever causes upright to go astray in an evil way, he himself will fall into his own pit, but the blameless will inherit good. The rich man is wise in his own eye, but the poor will has understanding searches him out. When the righteous rejoice, there is a great glory, but when the wicked rise, men hide themselves. He who covers his sin will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. Happy is the man who is always reverent, but he who hardens the heart will fall into calamity. Like a roaring lion, like a charging bull, is wicked ruler over poor people. A ruler who lacks understanding is a great oppressor, but he who hates covetousness will prolong his day. A man burdened with his pleasure will flee into a pit, let no one help him. Whoever walks blamelessly will be saved, but he who is perverse in his ways will suddenly fall. He who tells his land will be plenty of bread, but he who follows frivolity will have poverty enough. A faithful man will abound with blessing, but he who has to be rich will not go unpunished. To show partiality is not good, because for a piece of bread a man will transgress. A man with an evil eye hastens after riches and does not consider that poverty will come upon him. He who rebukes a man will find more favor afterwards than he who flatters with his tongue. Whoever robs his father or his mother's and saying it is no transgression, the shame's companion to earth destroyer. He who is of a proud heart strives outstrip, but he who trusts in the Lord will be prospered. He who trusts in the Lord in his own heart is a fool, but whoever walks wisely will be delivered. He who gives to the poor will not lack, but he who hides his eyes will have many curses. When the wicked arise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. Chapter 29, he who is often rebuked and hard in his neck will suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked man rules, the people groan. Whoever loves wisdom makes his father rejoice, but a companion of harlots wastes his spirit. The king established land by justice, but he who receives bribes overthrows it. A man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. A transgression and evil man is made, but the righteous sings and rejoices. The righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked does not understand such knowledge. Scoffers set a city aflame, but wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether the fool rages aloud, there is no peace. The better seeing him blameless, but the upright seeks his well-being. A fool vents all his feeling, but a wise man holds him back. If a ruler pays attention to lies, all the servant become wicked. The poor man and the oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives light to the eyes of both. The king who judges the poor with truth is strong to be established forever. The rod and rebuke give wisdom, but a child left himself brings shame to his mother. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous will send it forward. Correct your son, and he will give you less. Yes, he will give delight to your soul. Where there is no revelation, people cast off restraint, but happy is he who keeps the law. A servant will not be corrected by his words, for very words, but though he understands, he will not respond. Do you see a man has seen his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. He who pampers a servant from childhood will have him as a son in the end. An angry man stirs upstripped, as a furious man abounds in transgression. A man's pride will bring him low, but the humble in spirit will retain honor. Whoever is a partner with a thief hates his own life. He swears to tell the truth, but reveals nothing. The fear of a man brings his near, but whoever trusts in the Lord shall be saved. Many seek the ruler's favor, but justice for man comes from the Lord. And unjust man is an abomination to the righteous, and he who is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. Chapter 30, the words of Abu, the son of Jacob, as utterance the man declared to you call, surely I am more stupid than any man, not have the understanding of a man. I neither learn wisdom nor the knowledge of Holy One, who has ascended into heaven or descended, who has gathered the wind in his fist, who has bound the waters in the garment, who has established all the ends of the earth. What is his name? What is his son's name? If you know, his words, lest he rebuke you, and you be found a liar. Two things I request to you, to try me not before I die. Remove falsehood and lies far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food allotted to me. Lest I be full and deny you and say, Who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and profane the name of the Lord. Do not malign a servant to his master, lest he curse you and you be found guilty. There is a generation that curses its father and does not bless its mother. There is a generation that is pure in its own eye, yet is not washed from its filthiness. There is a generation how lofty and are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are like swords, whose fangs are like knives, who devour to the poor from off the earth and needy from among men. The lily has two daughters, Eve and Keith. There are three things that are never satisfied, four never says enough. The grave, the barren womb, the earth that is not satisfied with water, and the fire never says enough. The high that mocks his father and discounts obedience to his mother and travels in the valley that pick it out, and they begins to eat it. There are three things which are too wonderful for me, yes, four which I do not understand. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent on the rock, the way of the ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a virgin. This is the way of an adulterous woman. She sits and weeps her mouth and says, I have done no wickedness. For three things the earth is perturbed, yes, for food it cannot bear it. For a servant when he reigns, a fool when he is filled with food. A hateful woman when she is married, a maid servant who succeeds a mistress. There are four things which are little on the earth, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare the food in the summer. The rocks, badgers are a feeble flock, yet they make their homes in the branches. The locusts have no king, they have advanced in rise. The spider skillful grabs with his hands, and it is in the king's palaces. There are three things which are majestic in pace, yes, for four which are safely in walk. A lion which is mighty in ways and does not turn away from enemy. A greyhound, a male goat also, a king whose troops are within him. If you have been foolish and exalted yourself, or if you have devised evil, put your hand on your mouth. For a curdling of milk produces butter, and drinking the nose produces bread. For the forcing of word produces strength. Chapter 31. The words of King Lemuel, the attendants which his mother taught him, what my son, and what my son of my own, and what son of my host, do not give you strength to women, or the ways to that which destroys thee. It is not the king of Lemuel, it is not the king of king, it is not the kings of drink wine, not the prince's intoxicating drink. These the drink and forget the law and pervert the justice of all the afflicted. Give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to those who are bitter of heart. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his mystery no more. Open your mouth for the speechless and the cause of all who are appointed to die. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of poor and needy. Who can find her which is his wife, and her worth is far above rubies? The heart of her husband safely trusts her, for he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil. All the days of her life she sees wool flocks and willingly works with her hand. She is like a merchant ship, she brings her food from afar. She also raises while it is yet night, and provides food for her household and a portion for her maidservant. She considers a field and buys it from her profit. She plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She sees that her merchandise is good, and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hand to the distaff, and her hand holds the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor days. She reaches out to the hands of the needy. She is not afraid of snow or for her household, and all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land.
the south and turns about unto the north. It whirls about continually, and the wind returns again according to its circuit. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full unto the place from where the rivers come, there they return again. All things are full of weariness, men cannot express it. The eyes is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The things that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new things under the sun. Is there any things of which it may be said, see this new, it has been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that ought to come with those that shall come after. I, the preacher, was the king over Israel in Jerusalem, and I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This severe burden had God given to the sons of men to be afflicted with. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and like grasping the wind. That which crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is lacking cannot be numbered. I communed with my own heart, saying, Lo, I have come to greatness, and I have gotten more wisdom than all they have been before me in Jerusalem. Yeah, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. And I set my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is like a grasping the wind. For in much wisdom is much grief, and in that increased knowledge, increased sorrow. I said in my chapter 2, I said in my heart, come now I will test you with my youth. Therefore enjoy pleasure, and behold, this also is vanity. I said of laughter, it mad, and of mirth, what is it? I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting my heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly till I might see what was good for the sons of men, which they should under heaven all the days of their life. I made myself great works, I built houses, I planted vineyards, I made myself garden and orchards, and I planted trees in them with all kind of fruit. I made myself pools of water with the which of water the forest that brings forth trees. I got myself male and female servants, and had servants born in my house. Also I had great possessions of great and small cattle, more than all that were in Jerusalem before me. I gathered for myself and silver and gold, and the special treasures of king, and the province I got, men singers and women singers, the delights of the sons of men, and musical instruments of all sorts. So I was great and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me, and whatsoever my eyes desired, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my reward of all my labor. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had made, and on the other labor I had experience on it, and behold, all was vanity and like grasping the wind, and there was no profit under the sun. And I turned myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly, for what can a man do that comes after the king, given that which has been already done? Then I saw wisdom excels light, excels darkness. The wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walks in the darkness. And I myself perceived also that one fate happens to them all. Then said in my heart, as it happened, so it happens even to me, and why was I then more wise? Then I said in my heart that this also is vanity, for there is no remembrance of the wise more than of old forever, seeing that which knows the day to come shall be forgotten, and how does the wise man die? As the fool. Therefore I hated life, because vanity and like grasping the wind. Yeah, I hated all my labor in which I had toiled under the sun, because I must leave it unto the men that shall be after me. And who knows whether it shall be a wise man or a fool? Yet shall ye have ruled over all labor in which I have labored, and in which I have shown myself wise under the sun. This is also vanity. Therefore I gave my heart up to the despair of all the labor in which I toiled under the sun. For there is a man whose labor is a wisdom, and in knowledge and in equity, yet to a man that has not labored in it shall be deemed for his portion. This also vanity and great evil. For what has man for all his labor, and for his striving of his heart, with which he has labored under the sun? For all his days of sorrow, and his travel grief, yeah, his heart takes not rest in the night. This is also a vanity. There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw that it was from the hand of God. For who can eat, or who else can have enjoyment more than I? For God gives to a man good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy, but to the sinner he gives the work of gathering and heaping up, only that he may give to him that is good before God. This is also vanity, the grasping of the wind. Chapter 3. To everything there is a season, and time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and time to die, a time to plant and time to pluck of the which is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from the embracing, a time to get, and time to lose, a time to keep, and time to cast away, a time to hear, and time to save, a time to silence, and time to speak, a time to love, a time to hate, a time to war, a time to peace. What profit has been works in that in which he labors? I have seen the task which is God has given to the sons of men occupied in it. He had made everything beautiful in his time. Also he put eternity in men's heart, so that men can find out the work that God gives from the beginning of the end. I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice when he do good in his life, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy good of all his labor. It is also a gift of God. I know that whatsoever God does, it shall forever, nothing can be added to it, nor nothing can be taken from it, and God does it that men should fear before him. That which has been shown now, and that which is to be has already been, the God requires that which is past, and moreover I saw under the sun the place of justice, the wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, the impurity was there. I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and wicked, for there is time for every purpose and for every work. I said in my heart concerning the condition of the sons of men, that God might reveal them, and then might see that they themselves are beasts. For that which befalls the sons of men befalls us, the same thing befalls them. As the one dies, so dies the other, yet they have all the breath, so that the man has no advantage over a beast for all his vanity. All go unto one place, all are of dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knows the spirit of man that goes upward, and the spirit of the beast that goes downward of the earth? Therefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in own works, for that is not for who can bring him to see what shall be after him. Chapter 4. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the ears of such as were oppressed,
and they had no comfort, and the side of their oppressors they were power, but they had no comforter. Therefore I praise the dead who already dead more than the living who are yet alive. Yeah, better is easy than both, who has not yet been, who has not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. Again I consider to all toil and every skillful work, that for this man is envied by his labor. This is also vanity and has been the wind. The fool folds his hand together and eat his own flesh. Better in handful with quietness than both hands full with toil and grasping the wind. Then I returned and saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone, and there is another saying. He has neither child nor brother, yet is there no end of all his labor. Neither in his eyes satisfied with riches, neither says is for whom do I labor, and deprive my soul of good. This is also vanity, yeah, it is a empty travel. Two are better than one because they have good reward for their labor. For if they have fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is fellow, when he falls for his, he is not another to build him. Again, if two die together, then they will have it. But how can we mount down? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and therefore God is not quite quickly broken. Better is a poor of a wise child than an old foolish king who will no longer be admonished. Better is a poor is a wise child than an old and foolish king who will no longer be admonished. For our of prison he comes with right, yet he that is born in his kingdom might become poor. I consider all the living who walk under the sun with the second child, that he shall stand up with this place. There is no end of all the people, even of all that we have been before them. They also come after him, shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also in vanity and grasping after the wind. Chapter 5. God your steps when you go to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice to fools, for they consider not they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven and you are upon earth, therefore let your words be few. For dream comes true, much business, and fool's voice is known by multitude of words. When you go unto God, defer unto not pray, for he has no pleasure in fools. Pay the bills you have vowed. Better is it that you should not vow than you should vow and not pay. Permit not your mouth to cause your flesh to sin, neither say before the angel that this was an error. Why should God be angry at your voice and destroy the work of your hands? For in the multitude of dreams and many words there are also many vanities, but you fear God. If you see oppression of the poor and violent perverting of justice and righteousness in province, marvel not at a matter, for the high official is watched by higher one, and there are yet higher ones over them. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served from the field. He that loves silver shall not be satisfied with the silver, nor be that loves abundance with increase. This is also vanity. When God increases, they are increased that eat them. So what God is good is there to honor expects the beholding of them with their eyes. The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eats little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not allow him to sleep. There is a great deal which I have seen under the sun, namely riches kept by their owners of the earth. But those riches are lost by a bad venture. When he begates his son, there is nothing to his sign. As he came from forth of his mother's womb, naked shall be returned to Boaz. He came and shall take nothing from his labor, which he may carry away his this also is a great evil, that just as he came, so shall he go, and what profit has he who has labored for the will? All his days, all he eats in darkness, and he much sorrow and breath with his sickness. Behold, that which I have seen, it is good and fitting for one to eat, to drink, to enjoy the good of all the labors that he takes under the sun, all the days of his life, which God gives him, for this is not. Every man also to whom God has given riches and wealth, and has given him power to eat of it, and to accept his lot of it, rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of God. For he shall not much remember the days of his life, because God keeps him busy with joy of his heart. There is an healing which I have seen under the sun, and it common among men, and a man to whom God has given riches, wealth, and labor, honor, so that he wants nothing for his soul of all that desires, yet God gives him not power to eat of it, but a stranger eats it. This is vanity, and it's an evil application. If a man betakes 100 children and lives many years, so that the days of years are many, and his soul is not filled with good, and also it buries, I say that still born birth is better than he. For he comes in with vanity and departs darkness, and his name shall be covered with darkness. Moreover, he has not seen the sun, nor known anything that one has more rest than the other. Yeah, though he lives in 1,000 years, twice over yet he has seen no good or one place. All the labors of man in his place, mouth, and yet the appetite is not filled. For what he has twice more than the fool, what has the poor who knows the walk before the living? Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This is also vanity and grasping after the will. Whatever has been in name already, and it is known that is the man, neither may he content with it, and this is mightier than he. Since there are many things that increase vanity, how is man the better? For who knows what is good for man in this life? All the days of his life which he spends like a shadow, for who can tell a man what shall he be after under the sun?
Chapter 7. A good name is better than precious ointment in the day of death than the day of birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for this is the end of all mankind, and the living will lay to heart. Sorrow is better than water, for the sadness of face the heart is made glad. The heart of the wise is in the house of the body, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better for man to hear the report of the wise than to hear the sound of fools. For as the cracking of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of fools. This is also vanity. Surely oppression drives the wise into madness, and the pride corrupts the heart. Better is the end of a thing than its beginning, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the hearts of fools. Say not, why were the former days better than these? For it is not from wisdom that you ask this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, an advantage to those who seek the sun. For the production of wisdom is like the production of money, and the advantage of knowledge is that wisdom preserves the lives of him who has it. Consider the work of God who can make straight what he has made crooked. In the day of prosperity be joyful, and in the day of adversity consider God has made the one as well as the other, so that the man may not find out anything that will be after him. In my way, life has seen everything there is a righteous man who perishes in the righteousness, and there is a wicked man who prolongs his life in his evil way. Be not overly righteous, and do not make yourself too wise. Why should you destroy yourself? Be not overly wicked, neither be a fool. Why should you die before your time? you should take hold of this, and from that without not, and from that you should take hold of this, and from that withhold not your hand. For the one who fears God shall come out from both of them. Wisdom gives strength to the wise man, more than 10 rulers of a city. Surely there is not a righteous man on earth who does good and never stays. Do not take to heart all the things that people say. Let us hear your servant cursing you. Your heart knows that many times you yourself have cursed others. All this I have listed by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it is far from me that which has been is far off, and deep, very deep. Who can find it out? I turn hard to know and to search, to seek wisdom of the scheme of things, and to know the wickedness of folly and the foolishness that is madness, and I find something more bitter than death. The woman whose heart is slaves and nets, and whose hands are fetters. He who pleases God escapes her, but the sinner is taken by her. Behold this, what I found, says the preacher, while adding one thing to another to find the scheme of things, which my soul has sought repeatedly, but I have not found. One man among 1,000 I found, but a woman among all this I have not found. See this, I found that God made it upright, but they have sought out many schemes. Chapter 8. Keep the king's command. Who is with the wise, and who knows the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom makes his face shine, and the hardness of his face is changed. I say keep the king's command because of God's growth to him. Be not hasty to go from his presence. Do not take your stand in evil cause, for it is whatever he pleases. For the word of the king is supreme, and who may say to him, what are you doing? Whoever keeps the command will know no evil things, and the wise heart will know the proper time of the judge to it. For there is a time and a way for everything, although man's trouble lies heavy for him. For he does not know what is to be, for who can tell him how it will be. No man has the power to retain his spirit or power over the day of death. There is no discharge from all, power wickedness delivered those who are given to it. All this I observed while applying my heart to all that is done under the sun, when man had power over man to his son. Then I saw the wicked buried. They used to go in and out of the holy place and were placed in the city where they have done such things. This is also vanity, because the sentence against an evil deed is not executed speedily. The heart of the children of man is fully settled with evil. Those who does evil, a hearted tax, and prolongs his life bad, I know that I will be well with those who fear God, because they fear before him. But it will not be well with the wicked, neither will it prolong his day like a shadow, because he does not fear before God. Man cannot know God's will. There is a vanity that takes place on earth, and there are righteous people to whom it happens according to the deeds of the wicked, and there are wicked people to whom it happens according to the deeds of the righteous. I said that this is also vanity, and I commend joy for a man as nothing better under the sun, but to eat and drink and be joyful. For this will go with him in his toil throughout the day of his life that God has given him under the sun. When I applied my heart to know wisdom and to see the wisdom that is done on earth, how neither day nor night do one's eyes see sleep. Then I saw all the work of God that man cannot find out. The work that is done under the sun, however much money may toil in seeking, he will not find it out. Even though wise man claims he cannot find it out. Chapter 9. Death comes to all. But all this I laid to heart, examining it all, how the righteousness and the wise in their deeds are in the hands of a God, whether it is love or hate, man does not know. Both are before. It is same for all, since the same event happened to the righteousness and the wicked, to the good and the evil, to the clean and the unclean, to him who sacrifices and for him who does not sacrifice, as the good one is so as the sinner, and he who swears is as cushions and oath. This is an evil in all that is done under the sun, that the same event happens to all, the good and the bad. Also the hearts of the children of man are full of evil, and madness is in their hearts while they live, and after they go to the death. But he who is joined with all the living as hope for a living God is better than a dead life. For the living know that they will die, but the dead doesn't know, and they are no more remote, for the memory of them is forgotten. Their love and their hate and their Their envy have already perished, and forever they are no more sharing all that is done under the sun. Go eat your bread with joy and drink your wine with a merry heart, for God has already approved what you do. Let your garments be always white. Let it not be oil, and be like on your head. Enjoy life with the wife whom you love, all the days of your reign, all the days of your reign. Life that is given you under the sun, because that is your portion in life and in your toil, and which you toil under the sun. Whatever your hand finds, you don't do it with your mind, for there is no work or thought or knowledge or wisdom in sure to which you will go. Again, I saw that under the sun the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to the intelligent, nor favor to those with knowledge, but time and chance happens to them all. For man does not know his time, like fish that are taken in an evil way, and like birds that are caught in a snare. So children of man are snared at an evil time when it suddenly falls upon them. I have also seen this example of wisdom under the sun, and it seemed great to me. There was a little city with a few men in it, and a great king came against it and besieged it, building great siege works against it. But there was found a poor wise man. He by his wisdom delivered the city. No one remembered that poor man. When I say that wisdom is better than mine, though the poor man's wisdom is despised and his words were not heard, the words of the wise heard in quiet are better than the shouting of a ruler or of fools. Wisdom is better than the weapons of war, but one sinner destroys one shield. Chapter 10. Dead flies makes the perfume or ointment give off a stench. So little for the how wise wisdom and honor. A wise man's heart inclines him to the right, but a fool's heart to the left. Even when the fool walks on the road, he lacks sense, and he says to everyone that he is a fool. If the anger of the ruler rises against you, do not leave a place, for calmness will be a great offense to rest. There is an evil that I have seen under the sun, as it were an error proceeding from the ruler. Folly is set in many high places, and the riches sit in low places. I have seen slaves and horses and princes working at their own slaves. He who makes a pig will follow him, and a serpent will bite him who breaks the law. He who carries stones is unbeaten, and he who speaks long is endangered by it. If the iron is blunt and one does not sharpen the edge, he must use force. But wisdom helps one to succeed. The serpent bites, but before it's sharp, there is no advantage to the charm. The word of a wise man is not being in favor, but the lips of a fool consume. The beginning of the words of the mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is evil plans. A fool multiplies word, though no man knows what it is to be, and who can tell what will be after it. The toil of a fool wearies him, for he does not know the way to the city. Who do you, O land, when your king is a child and your princess pleased with honor? Happy are you, O land, when your king is a son of nobility, and your princess pleased at the proper time for strength and not for drunkenness. Through sloth, the roof sinks, and through indolence, the host collects. Bread is made for water, and wine gladens life, and money answers everything, even in your thought, do not curse the king, nor in your bedroom curse the rich. For a bird of the air will carry your voice, or some wine creature tell the battle. Chapter 11. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Give a portion to 7 by even to 8. For you know what disaster may happen on earth. If the clouds are full of rain, they empty themselves on the earth. And if a tree falls to the south or to the north, the places where the tree falls, there it will lie. He who observes the wind will not snow, and he who regards the cloud will not rain. As you do not know the way the spirit comes to the bones in the womb of a woman with a child, so you do not know the work of a God who makes everything. In the morning sow your seed, and evening withhold not your hand, for you do not know which will prosper this, all that, or whether both are like to be good. Light is sweet, and it is pleasant for the eyes to see the sun. If a person lives many years, let him rejoice with them all, but let him remember that the day of darkness will be many. All that comes in vanity. Rejoice, O man, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart, in the sight of your eyes, but know that for all those things God will bring you to judgment. Remove vexation from your heart, and put away pain from your body, for youth and the dawn of life are vanity. Chapter 12. Remember also you created the days of your youth before the say, I have no pleasure in them. Before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars are darkened, and the clouds return after the rain, and the days for the keepers of the house tremble, and the storm winds are wind, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those who look through the windows are dim. And the doors of the streets are shut, and the sounds of the grinding is low, and the one rises up at the sound of a bird, and all the daughters of the songs are brought low. They are afraid also of what is high, and terrors are in the way. The almonds tree blossoms, the grasshopper drags itself around, and deserts fades. Because man is going to his eternal home, and the more is go about the state. Before the silver cord is snapped, or the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher is shattered at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the silver. And the dust returns to the earth as it was. The spirit returns to the God who created. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher, all is vanity. Besides being wise, the preacher also taught the people knowledge, weighing and studying and arranging many proverbs with great care. The preacher thought of work of delight and uprightly. He wrote words of truth. The word of the wise are like good goats and like nails, firmly fixed as a connected sage. They are given by one shepherd. My son, beware of anything beyond this. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. The end of the matter, all has been heard, fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole idea of God. For God will bring every deed into judgment, with every secret things with a good hurry.
சாலமோனின் உன்னத பாட்டு. சாலமோன் பாடின உன்னத பாட்டு. அவர் தமது வாயின் முத்தங்களால் என்னை முத்தமிடுவாராக. உமது நேசம் திராட்சையை பார்க்கிலும் இன்பமானது. உமது பரிமள தைலங்கள் இன்பமான வாசனையுள்ளவைகள். உமது நாமம் ஊற்றுண்ட பரிமள தைலமாயிருக்கிறது. ஆகையால் கன்னியர்கள் உம்மை நேசிக்கிறார்கள். என்னை இழுத்துக் கொள்ளும் உமக்கு பின்னே ஓடி வருவோம். ராஜா என்னை தமது அறைகளில் அழைத்துக் கொண்டு வந்தார். நாங்கள் உமக்குள் கலிகூர்ந்து மகிழ்வோம். ரசத்தை பார்க்கிலும் உமது நேசத்தை நினைப்போம். உத்தமர்கள் உம்மை நேசிக்கிறார்கள். எருசலேமின் குமாரத்திகளே, கேதாரின் கூடாரங்களை போடுவோம். கேதாரின் எருசலேமின் குமாரத்திகளே, கேதாரின் கூடாரங்களை போடுவோம். சாலமோனின் திரைகளை போடுவோம். நான் கருப்பாயிருந்தாலும் அழகாயிருக்கிறேன். நான் கருப்பாயிருக்கிறேன் என்று பாராதீர்கள். வெயில் என்மேல் பட்டது. என் தாயின் பிள்ளைகள் என்மேல் கோபமாயிருந்தும் என்னை திராட்சை தோட்டங்களுக்கு கவர்ச்சிக்காரியாக வைத்தார்கள். என் சொந்த திராட்சை தோட்டத்தையோ நான் காக்கவில்லை. என் ஆத்துமா நேசரே, உமது மந்தையை எங்கே மேய்த்து அதை மத்தியானத்தில் எங்கே மடங்குகிறேன்? எனக்கு சொல்லும். உமது தோழரின் மந்தைகள் அருகே அலைந்து திரிகிறவளைப் போல நான் இருக்க வேண்டியதென்ன? ஸ்திரீகளின் ரூபவதியே, அதை நீ அறியாயாகில் மந்தையின் காலடிகளை தொடர்ந்து போய் மேய்ப்பர்களுடைய கூடாரங்கள் அண்டையில் உன் ஆட்டுக்குட்டிகளை மேயவிடு. என் பிரியமே, பார்வோனுடைய ரதங்களில் பூண்டி இருக்கிற பரிகள் பவுஞ்சுக்கு உன்னை ஒப்பு கொடுக்கிறேன். ஆபரணத்துகள் பூண்ட உன் கன்னங்களும் ஆரங்கள் பூண்ட உன் கழுத்தும் அழகாயிருக்கிறது. வெள்ளி பொருட்களுள்ள பொன் ஆபரணங்களை உனக்கு பண்ணுவேன். ராஜா தமது பந்தில் இருந்தனையும் என்னுடைய நடத்தலும் தன்னை வாசனையை வீசும். என் நேசர் எனக்கு என் ஸ்தானங்களின் நடுவில் தங்கும் வெள்ளை போல சென்று, என் நேசர் எனக்கு எங்கேதி ஊர் திராட்சை தோட்டங்களில் முளைக்கும் மருந்தோன்றி பூங்கொத்து. என் பிரியமே, நீ ரூபவதி, உன் கண்கள் புறாக்கண்கள். நீ ரூபமுள்ளவர். பள்ளத்தாக்குகளில் லீலி புஷ்பமாயிருக்கிறேன். முள்ளுகளுக்குள்ளே லீலி புஷ்பம் எப்படியா இருக்கிறதோ அப்படியே குமாரனுக்குள்ளே எனக்கு பிரியமானவளும் இருக்கிறாள். காட்டு மரங்களுக்குள்ளே கிச்சிலி மரம் எப்படி இருக்கிறதோ அப்படியே குமாரனுக்குள்ளே என் நேசர் இருக்கிறார். அதன் நிழலிலே வாஞ்சையாய் உட்கார்கிறேன். அதன் கனி என் வாய்க்கு மதுரமாயிருக்கிறது. என்னை விரித்து சாலைக்கு அழைத்து கொண்டு போனார். என்மேல் பறந்த அவருடைய கொடி நேசமே. திராட்சரசத்தால் என்னை தேற்றுங்கள், கிச்சிலி பழங்களால் என்னை ஆற்றுங்கள். நேசத்தால் சோகம் அடைந்திருக்கிறேன். அவர் இடது கை என் தலையின் கீழ் இருக்கிறது, அவர் வலது கை என்னை அணிந்து கொள்ளுகிறது. எருசலேமே குமாரத்திகளே, எனக்கு பிரியமானவர்களுக்குள் மனதாயிருக்கும் மட்டும் நீங்கள் அவளை விழிக்க பண்ணாமலும் எழுப்பாமலும் இருக்கும்படி வெளிமான்கள் மேலும் வெளியின் மலைகள் மேலும் உங்களை ஆணையிடுகிறேன். இது என் நேசருடைய சத்தம். இதோ அவர் மலைகள் மேல் குதித்தும் மேடுகள் மேல் துள்ளியும் வருகிறார். என் நேசர் வெளிமானுக்கு மறைக்குட்டிக்கும் ஒப்பாயிருக்கிறார். இதோ அவர் எங்கள் மதிலுக்கு புறம்பே நின்று பலகனி வழியாய் பார்த்து கிராதியின் வழியாய் தமது மலர்ந்த முகத்தை காண பண்ணுகிறார். என் நேசர் என்னோட பேசி, என் பிரியமே, என் ரூபவதியே, எழுந்து வா. இதோ மாரிகாலம் சென்றது, மழை பெய்து ஒழிந்தது, பூமியிலே புஷ்பங்கள் காணப்படுகிறது, குருவிகள் பாடும் காலம் வந்தது, காட்டுப்புறாவின் சத்தம் தமது தேசத்தில் கேட்கப்படுகிறது. அத்திமரம் காய் காய்ந்தது, திராட்சை செடிகள் பூ பூத்து வாசனையும் பரிமளிக்கிறது. என் பிரியமே, என் ரூபவதியே, நீ எழுந்து வா. கண்மணியின் வெடிப்புகளிலும் சிகரங்களின் மரவெளிகளிலும் தங்குகிற என் புறாவே, உன் முக ரூபத்தை எனக்கு காண்பி. உன் சத்தத்தை நான் கேட்கட்டும். உன் சத்தம் இன்பமும் என் முகரூபமும் அழகாயிருக்கிறது என்றார். திராட்சை தோட்டங்களை கெடுக்கிற குழிநர்களையும் சிறுநர்களையும் நமக்கு பிடியுங்கள். நம்முடைய திராட்சை தோட்டங்கள் பூவும் பிஞ்சுமாயிருக்கிறது. என் நேசர் என்னுடையவர், நான் அவருடையவர். அவர் நீலி புஷ்பங்களுக்குள்ளே மேய்க்கிறார். என் நேசரே, பகல் குளிர்ச்சியாக நிழல் சாய்ந்து போகும் வரைக்கும் நீர் திரும்பி குன்றும் பிழைப்புமான கண்மலையில் குதித்து வரும் கலைமானுக்கும் மரங்களின் குட்டிகளுக்கும் சமமாயிருக்கும். 3ஆம் அதிகாரம். ராக்காலங்களிலும் என் படுக்கையிலே என் ஆத்துமா நேசரை தேடினேன். தேடியும் நான் அவரை காணவில்லை. நான் எழுந்து நகரத்தை வீதிகளிலும் தெருக்களிலும் திரிந்து என் ஆத்துமா நேசரை தேடுவேன் என்றேன். ஆத்துமா நேசரை தேடுவேன் என்றேன். தேடியும் நான் அவரை காணவில்லை. நகரத்திலே திரிகிற காவலாளர் என்னை கண்டார்கள். என் ஆத்துமா நேசரை கண்டீர்களா என்று அவர்களை கேட்டேன். நான் அவர்களை விட்டு கொஞ்ச தூரம் கடந்து போன உடனே என் ஆத்துமா நேசரை கண்டேன். அவரை நான் என் தாயின் வீட்டிலும் என்னை பெற்றவரின் அறையிலும் கொண்டு வந்து விடுமட்டும் விடாமல் பற்றி கொண்டேன். எருசலேமின் குமாரத்திலே, எனக்கு பிரியமாயிருக்கிறவர்களுக்கு மனதாகும் மட்டும் நீங்கள் அவளை விழிக்க பண்ணாமலும் எழுப்பாமல் இருக்கும்படி வெளிமான்களின் மேல் வெளியின் மலைகள் மேல் உங்களை ஆணையிடுகிறேன். வெள்ளை போலத்தினாலும் சாம்பிராணியாலும் வர்த்தகருடைய சகலவித கந்தப்பொடியினாலும் உண்டாகிய வாசனையை வீசி தூபஸ்தவானங்களையும் போல் வனாந்தரத்திலிருந்து வருகிற இவர் யார்? இதோ சாலோமோனுடைய மஞ்சம், இஸ்ரவேலின் சௌரியாவன்களின் 60 சௌரியாவன்கள் அதை சுற்றித் திரிகிறார்கள். இவர்கள் எல்லோரும் பட்டயம் பிடித்து யுத்தத்துக்கு பழகினவர்களாயிருக்கிறார்கள். ராக்கால பயத்து நிமித்தம் அவனுடைய பட்டயம் அவன் அறையில் இருக்கிறது. சாலமோன் ராஜா தனக்கு லீபனோனின் மரத்தினால் ஒரு ரதத்தை பண்ணவித்தார். அதன் தூண்களை வெள்ளியினாலும் அதன் தட்டை பொன்னினாலும் எல்லா இரட்டக்குட்டியின்றவைகளுமான ஆட்டு மந்தையை போலிருக்கிறது. உன் உதடுகள் சிவப்பு நூலுக்கு சமமானமும் உன் வாக்கு இன்பமுமாயிருக்கிறது. உன் முக்காட்டின் நடுவே உன் கண்கள் வெடித்த மாதளம்பழம் போலிருக்கிறது. உன் கழுத்து பராக்கிரமசாலிகளின் கேடங்களாகிய 1000 பரிசைகள் தூக்கியிருக்கிற ஆயுத சாலைகளைப்பட்ட தாவீதின் கோபுரம் போலிருக்கிறது. உன் 2 ஸ்தானங்களும் லீலி புஷ்பங்களிலும் மேயும் வெளிமானின் இரட்டை குட்டிகளில் சமானம். பகல் குளிர்ச்சியாகிய நிலம் காய்ந்து போகும் வரைக்கும் நான் வெள்ளை போல மலையிலும் சாம்பிராணி மலையிலும் போயிருப்பேன். என் பிரியமே, நீ பூரண ரூபவதி, உன்னில் பழுதொன்றும் இல்லை. லீபனோனில் இருந்து என்னோடே வா, என் மணவாளியே, லீபனோனில் இருந்து என்னோடே வா. அமனாவின் கொடுமுடியில் இருந்தும் சேனீர் ஏர்மோனின் கொடுமுடியில் இருந்தும் சிங்கங்களின் தாவரங்களில் இருந்தும் சிவங்களின் மலைகளில் இருந்தும் கீழே பார். என் இருதயத்தை கவர்ந்து கொண்டாய். என் சகோதரியே, என் மணவாளியே, உன் கண்களில் ஒன்றினாலும் உன் கழுத்திலும் ஒரு சரப்பணியினாலும் என் இருதயத்தை கவர்ந்து கொண்டாய். உன் நேசம் எவ்வளவு இன்பமாயிருக்கிறது. என் சகோதரியே, என் மணவாளியே, திராட்சத்தை பார்க்கிலும் உன் நேசம் எவ்வளவு மதுரமாயிருக்கிறது. சகல கந்த வர்க்கங்களை பார்க்கிலும் உன் பரிமள தைலங்கள் எவ்வளவு வாசனாயிருக்கிறது. என் மணவாளியே, உன் உதடுகளில் இருந்து தேன் ஒழுகிறது. உன் நாவிற்கு தேனும் பாலும் இருக்கிறது. உன் வஸ்திரங்களில் வாசனை லீபனோனின் வாசனை கொப்பாயிருக்கிறது. என் சகோதரியே, என் மணவாளியே, நீ அடைக்கப்பட்ட தோட்டமும் மறைவு கட்டப்பட்ட நீரூற்றும் முத்திரிக்கப்பட்ட கிணறுமாயிருக்கிறாய். உன் தோட்டம் மதளச் செடிகளும் அருமையான கனிமரங்களும் மருதோன்றி செடிகளும் நலதச் செடிகளும் நலதமும் குங்குமமும் வசம்பும் லவங்கமும் சகலவித தூப வர்க்க மரங்களும் வெள்ளை போல செடிகளும் சந்தன விருட்சங்களும் சகலவித கந்தக வர்க்க செடிகளும் உள்ள சிங்காரவனமாயிருக்கிறது. தோட்டங்களுக்கு நீரூற்றும் ஜீவ தண்ணீரின் துறவும் லீபனோனிலிருந்து ஓடி வரும் வாய்க்கால்களும் உண்டாயிருக்கிறது. வாடையே எழுந்து, தென்றலே வா, கந்த பிசின்கள் வடிய என் தோட்டத்தில் வீசு. என் நேசர் தம்முடைய தோட்டத்துக்கு வந்து தமது அருமையான கனிகளை புசிப்பாராக.
Songs of Solomon chapter 4. I came to my daughter, my sister, and my bride. I gathered my oil with my spice. I ate my honeycomb with my honey, and drank my wine with my milk. I slept, but my heart was alive. The soul, my beloved, is walking. Open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my perfect one. For my head is wet with dew, but my locks with the drops of wine. I had put off my garment. How could I put it on? I bathed my feet. How could I soil them? My beloved put his hand to the latch, and my heart was thrilled within me. I arose my open and beloved, and my hands stripped with my fingers with liquid on my handles of gold. I opened to my beloved, but the beloved had turned and gone. My soul failed me when I spoke. I sought him, but found him not. I called him, but he gave me answer. The watchmen for me. As they went about in the city, they beat me and they bruised me. They took away my veil. Those watchmen of the walls exhort you, O daughter of Jerusalem, if I find my beloved, take love. What is a beloved more than another? O most beautiful man among men, that is beloved more than another beloved. That is us. My beloved is radiant and ruddy, distinguished among 10,000. His head is fine as gold, his locks are red, black as diamond, his eyes are like those beside streams of water, bathed in milk, sitting beside a full pool. His cheeks are like birds of spice, moons of sweet smelling herbs, his lips are lilies, dripping liquid, his arms are rods of gold, set with jewels, his body is polished ivory, bedecked with sapphire, his legs are alabaster columns set on bases of gold. His appearance like Lebanon choice as cedars. His mouth is most sweet and is altogether desirable. He is my beloved, and this is my friend, O daughter of Jerusalem. Chapter 6. Where has your beloved gone? O beautiful woman. Where has your beloved gone, that we may seek him with you? My beloved has gone to his garden to the beds of spices, to graze in the garden, and to gather leaves. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. He grazes among the ridges. You are my beautiful Tirza. My love, lovely as Jerusalem. Awesome as an army with banners. Turn away your eyes from me, for they overwhelm me. Your hair is like flocks of goats, weeping down on the slopes of Gilead. Your teeth are like flocks of leaves that have come from the washing, all of them bedwins. Not one among them has not lost his sin. Your cheeks are like hearts of pomegranate behind your head. There are 60 queens and 80 concubines and virgins without number. My dove, my perfect one, is the only one, the perfect one of our mother. True to her who bore her. The young women all are called blessed. The queens and concubines also, and they are prized in her. So this is who looks down like the dawn. Beautiful as the moon, bright as the sun, awesome as an army with the banners. I went down to the nuts, or came to the look at the blossoms of valley to see whether the vines had butter, whether the pomegranates were in bloom. Before I was aware, my desire said me, among the chariots of my kinsmen, a prince. Return, O Shulamite, return, that we may look upon you. Why should you look upon the Shulamite as upon a dance before two armies? Chapter 7. How beautiful are you, feet in the sandals, O noble daughter. Your rounded thighs are like jewels, the works of master hands. Your navels is a round bowl that never lacks mixed milk. Your belly is like a heap of feet, encircled with the lilies. Your two breasts are like two horns, wings of gazelle. Your neck is like an ivory tower. Your eyes are like pools in a stone, by the gate of a bear riding. Your nose is like the tower of Lebanon, which looks towards Damascus. Your red tones like a caramel, and your flowing locks are like purple. The king is held captive in mysteries. How beautiful and pleasant you are, O loved one, with all your delights. Your stature is like a palm tree, and your breasts like structure. I say I will clean the palm tree and lay hold of its fruit. Oh, may your breast be like clusters of the wind, and the sense of your breath is like vapor, and your mouth like the best wine. It goes down smoothly for beloved. bleeding over lips of teeth. I am my beloved son, his desire is for me. O my beloved, let us go into the field and lodge in their villages. Let us go out early to the vineyard, and he say whether the vines have been watered, whether the grapes blossoms are open, and the pomegranates on the blossom bloom. There I will give you my love. My mandrakes gives forth fragrance, and beside our doors all the choice fruits, new as well as old, which I have laid up for you, O my beloved. Chapter 8. Oh, that you are like a brother to me, who nursed at my mother's breast. If I found you outside, I would kiss you, and none would despise me. I would let you and bring you into the house of my mother. Into the house of my mother, she used to teach me. I could give you spice with wine to drink, the juice of my pomegranate. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand under my waist. I adjure you, O daughter of Jerusalem, that you are not sleep up or awaken love until thy peace. Who is that coming up from the wilderness? Learning our love. Under the apple tree I awakened you. There your mother was in labor with you. There she bore you as in labor. Set me as a shield upon your heart, and shield upon your arm. For love is strong as death. Jealousy is fiery as the grave. Its flashes and flashes of fire, the very flame of the Lord. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can flood drown it. If a man offered for love all the wealth of his house, he would be utterly despised. We have a little sister, and he has no rest. What shall we do for our sister on the day when it is spoken for? If she is a wall, he will build on her battlement of his river. But if we should go, we will enclose her with the boats of cedar. I was a wall, and my breasts were like towers. Then I was in size, and one little final piece. Solomon at Baal Hamon, he let out the vineyard, the keepers, each one of us bring to his springs 1,000 pieces of silver. My vineyard, my very own is before me. O Solomon, may have the thousands, and the keepers of the fruits 200. You will build in the garden with a companion listening to her voice. Let me make taste my beloved, and be like gazelle or a young stag on the mountain of spices.
Amen. Hallelujah. So poetical books, ಕವಿತೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳು ಈಗ ಮುಗಿತು. ಈಗ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರವಾದಿಕ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳು 2 ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಏಂಜಲ್ ಅವರು ಓದುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾಳೆ 3ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ ನಾನು ಓದೋಣ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೈರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. 5 ಅವರು 6 ಅವರು ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ, ರಾಕ್ಷನಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಓಕೆ, ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಹುಡುಗಿಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ನಮಗೆ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ತರಕ್ಕೆ, ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕುಡಿದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಈಗ 2 ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅವರು ಬೇಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಓದುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದೇವರಿಗೆ
ಯೆಶಾಯನ ಪ್ರವಾದನ ಗ್ರಂಥ 1ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ. ಯೆಹೂದ ದೇಶದ ಅರಸನಾದ ಉಜ್ಜಿಯ, ಯೋತಾಮ, ಆಹಾಜ, ಹಿಜ್ಕೀಯ ಇವರ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಯೆಹೂದ ಮತ್ತು ಯೆರೂಸಲೇಮಿನ ವಿಷಯವಾಗಿ ಆಮೋಚನ ಮಗನಾದ ಯೆಶಾಯನಿಗೆ ಆದ ದೈವದರ್ಶನ. ಆಕಾಶ ಮಂಡಲವೇ ಆಲಿಸು, ಭೂಮಂಡಲವೇ ಕೇಳು, ಯೆಹೋವನು ಮಾತನಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ನಾನು ಸಾಕಿ ಸಲಹಿದ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ ನನಗೆ ದ್ರೋಹ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎತ್ತು ಯಜಮಾನನನ್ನು ಕತ್ತರೋಳು ಎಂಬ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆಯ ಗೋದಲನ್ನು ತಿಳಿದಿರುವವು. ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ಜನರಿಗೂ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಜೆಗೆ ಆಲಿಸುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಪಾಪಿಷ್ಠನ ಜನವೇ, ಅಧರ್ಮ ಭಾರ ಹೊತ್ತಿರುವ ಪ್ರಜೆಯೇ, ದುಷ್ಟ ಜಾತಿಯೇ, ದ್ರೋಹಿಗಳಾದ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗತಿಯನ್ನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಲಿ? ಯೆಹೋವನನ್ನು ತೊರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಸ್ರೇಲರ ಸದಾಮನ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯನ್ನು ಧಿಕ್ಕರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆತನಿಗೆ ಬೆನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಬೇರೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏಕೆ ದ್ರೋಹವನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸಿ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಗುರಿಯಾಗುತ್ತೀರಿ? ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ರೋಗ, ಹೃದಯದೆಲ್ಲ ದುರ್ಬಲ, ಅಂಗಾಲಿನಿಂದ ನಡುನೆತ್ತಿಯ ತನಕ ಪೆಟ್ಟು, ಬಾಸುಗೆ ಮಾಗದ ಗಾಯಗಳ ಹೊರತು ಏನು ಸೌಖ್ಯ ಬನ್ನಿರಿ ವಾದಿಸುವ ಎಂದು ಯೆಹೋವನು ಅನ್ನುತ್ತಾನೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾಪಗಳು ಕಡು ಕೆಂಪಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಹಿಮದ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿಳುಪಾಗುವವು, ಕಿರಮಂಜಿ ಬಣ್ಣ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದರು ಉಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ ಬೆಳಗಾಗುವುದು. ನೀವು ಒಪ್ಪಿವಿರಿಯರಾದರೆ ದೇಶದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಬೆಳೆಸುವಿರಿ, ಒಪ್ಪದೇ ತಿರುಗಿ ಬಿದ್ದರೆ ಕತ್ತಿಯ ಬಾಯಿಗೆ ತುತ್ತಾಗುವಿರಿ. ಈ ಮಾತು ಯೆಹೋವನೇ ನುಡಿದಿದ್ದು. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಸುವರ್ತೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದ ನಗರಿಯು ಸೂಳೆಯಾಗಿರಲ್ಲ, ನ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿ ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ನೆಲೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದವಳು ಈಗ ಕೊಳೆಪಾತಕರಿಗೆ ನೆಲೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ನಿನ್ನ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿಯು ಕಂದವಾಯಿತು, ನಿನ್ನ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷರಸು ನೀರಾಯಿತು, ನಿನ್ನ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ದ್ರೋಹಿಗಳು ಕಳ್ಳರ ಗೆಳೆಯರು ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಕಾಣಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಆಶಿಸಿ ಲಂಚಗಳನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕುವವನು ಅನಾಥರಿಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯ ತೀರಿಸಲು ವಿಧವೆಯರ ರಾಜ್ಯವು ಅವರ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೂ ಬಾರದು. ಈ ತಿರುಳು ಕರ್ತನು ಸೇನಾಧೀಶನು ಇಸ್ರೇಲರ ಶೂರನೂ ಆಗಿರುವ ಯೆಹೋವನು ಹೀಗೆ ನುಡಿಯುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಆಹಾ, ನನ್ನ ವಿರೋಧಿಗಳನ್ನು ಅಡಿಸಿ ಶಾಂತನಾಗುವೆನು, ನನ್ನ ಶತ್ರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಮುಗಿ ತಿರಿಸುವೆನು. ನಿನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ನ ಕೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಪುಟ ಹಾಕಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಕಲಶವನ್ನು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಲಾಡಿಸಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಕಂದು ಕಸರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದು ಬಿಡುವೆನು. ಪೂರ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನಗಿದ್ದ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧಿಪತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಮಂತ್ರಾಲೋಚಕರನ್ನು ಪುನಃ ಒದಗಿಸಿ ಕೊಡುವೆನು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀನು ಧರ್ಮಪುರಿ ಎಂತಲೂ ಸುವರ್ಧನ ನಗರಿ ಎಂತಲೂ ಅನ್ನಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಿ. ಜೀವನ ಪಟ್ಟಣಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಮೂಲಕವೂ ದೇಶಾಂತರದಿಂದ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆಯಾಗಿ ಬರುವ ಅದರ ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಧರ್ಮದ ಮೂಲಕವೂ ವಿಮೋಚನೆ ಆಗುವುದು. ಆದರೆ ದ್ರೋಹಿಗಳು ಪಾಪಿಗಳು ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ನಾಶನವಾಗುವರು. ಹೌದು, ಯೆಹೋವನು ತೊರೆದವರು ನಿರ್ಮೂಲರಾಗುವರು. ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟ ಏನ ಮರಗಳ ನಿಮಿತ್ತ ನಾಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಿರಿ, ಗೊತ್ತು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ ವನಗಳ ವಿಷಯವಾಗಿ ಲಜ್ಜೆ ಪಡುವಿರಿ. ಒಣನೆಲದ ಏಲ ಮರದಂತೆಯೂ ಜಲನೆಲದ ವನದ ಹೈರು ಹಾಗೂ ಇರುವಿರಿ. ನಿನ್ನ ಬಲಿಷ್ಠನೇ ಸೆಣಬಿನ ಗುಂಜು, ಅವನ ಕಾರ್ಯವೇ ಕಿವಿ. ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿ ಯಾರು ನಂದಿಸಲಾಗದಂತೆ ಸುಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗುವರು. 2ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ. ಯೋಧದ ಮತ್ತು ಯೆರೂಸಲೇಮಿನ ವಿಷಯವಾಗಿ ಆಮೋಚನ ಮಗನಾದ ಯೆಶಾಯನಿಗೆ ಕಂಡುಬಂದ ದೈವೋಕ್ತಿ. ಅಂತ್ಯಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಯೆಹೋವನ ಮಂದಿರದ ಬೆಟ್ಟವು ಬೆಟ್ಟಗಳಿಗಿಂತ ಉನ್ನತವಾಗಿ ನೆಲೆಗೊಳ್ಳುವುದು. ಆಗ ಸಕಲ ದೇಶಗಳವರು ಅದರ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಪ್ರವಾಹಗಳಂತೆ ಬರುವರು. ಹೊರಟು ಬಂದ ಬಹು ಜನಾಂಗದವರು, ಬನ್ನಿರಿ, ಯೆಹೋವನ ಪರ್ವತಕ್ಕೆ, ಯಾಕೋಬನ ದೇವರ ಮಂದಿರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಆತನು ತನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳ ವಿಷಯವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬೋಧನೆ ಮಾಡುವನು, ನಾವು ಆತನ ದಾರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುವೆವು ಎಂದು ಹೇಳುವುದು. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಚೀಯೋನಿನಿಂದ ಧರ್ಮೋಪದೇಶವು, ಯೆರೂಸಲೇಮಿನಿಂದ ಯೆಹೋವನ ವಾಕ್ಯ ಹೊರಡುವವು. ಆತನು ದೇಶಗಳ ವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನು ವಿಚಾರಿಸುವನು, ಬಹು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗಳಿಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯ ತೀರಿಸುವನು. ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಆಯುಧಗಳನ್ನು ಕುಡುಮೆಗೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಕತ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಗುಳಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿಯೂ ಬರ್ಜಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕಡುಗುಳುಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡುವರು. ಜನಾಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಕೈಯನ್ನೆತ್ತದು, ಇನ್ನು ಯುದ್ಧಾಭ್ಯಾಸವು ನಡೆಯುವುದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೋಬನ ಮನೆತನದವರೇ, ಬನ್ನಿರಿ, ಯೆಹೋವನ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಪ್ರಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುವ ಯಾಕೋಬನ ಮನೆತನದವರು ಮೂಡನ ದೇಶಗಳ ಮಂತ್ರತಂತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಗ್ನರು, ಫಿಲಿಷ್ಟಿಯರಾಗಿ ಕಣಿ ಹೇಳುವವರು, ಅನ್ಯ ದೇಶಗಳವರ ಸಂಗಡ ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಮಾಡುವವರು ಆಗಿರುವುದರಿಂದ ಈ ನಿನ್ನ ಜನರನ್ನು ಕೈ ಹಿಡಿದಿಯಷ್ಟೇ. ಇವರ ದೇಶವು ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಬಂಗಾರಗಳಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿದೆ, ಇವರ ನಿಧಿ ನಿಕ್ಷೇಪಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಿತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವರ ದೇಶವು ಅಶ್ವಬಲಭರಿತವಾಗಿದೆ, ಇವರ ರಥಗಳಿಗೆ ಪಾರವಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವರ ದೇಶವು ವಿಗ್ರಹಗಳಿಂದಲೂ ತುಂಬಿದೆ, ತಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಿಂದಲೇ ತಮ್ಮ ಬೆರಳುಗಳಿಂದಲೇ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಸ್ಕರಿಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೀಗಿರಲು ಅಮಾಧಮರಾಗಲಿ ಉತ್ತಮರಾಗಲಿ ತಗ್ಗಿಸಲ್ಪಟ್ಟವರು ಅವರನ್ನು ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಬೇಡ. ಕವಿಯೊಳಗೆ ನುಗ್ಗು, ಯೆಹೋವನ ಭಯಂಕರತನಕ್ಕೂ ಅತ್ಯುನ್ನತ ಮಹಿಮೆಗೂ ಎದುರಿ ಧೂಳಿನಂತೆ ಔತುಕೋ. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರ ಗರ್ಭದೃಷ್ಟಿಯು ತಗ್ಗಿ ಹೋಗುವುದು, ಮುಖಂಡರ ಅಹಂಕಾರವು ಕುಗ್ಗಿ ಹೋಗುವುದು. ಯೆಹೋವನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಅದರಿಂದಲೇ ಉನ್ನತನಾಗಿರುವನು. ಸೇನಾಧೀಶನಾದ ಯೆಹೋವನ ನ್ಯಾಯ ದಿವಸವು ಗರ್ಭದಿಂದ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವ ಸಮಸ್ತವು ಸಂಭವಿಸುವುದು. ಆಗ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗುವುದು. ಎತ್ತರವಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿರುವ ಲೇಬನೋನಿನ ಸರ್ವದೇವದಾರು ವೃಕ್ಷವು, ಬಾಷಾನಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೋಲ ಮರಗಳು, ಶಿಖರಗಳು, ಉನ್ನತವಾಗಿ ಎತ್ತಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವ ಸಮಸ್ತ ಬೆಟ್ಟಗುಡ್ಡಗಳು, ಉದ್ದುದ್ದವಾದ ಸಕಲ ಗೋಪುರಗಳು, ದುರ್ಗಮವಾದ ಸಮಸ್ತ ಕೋಟೆಗಳು, ಎಲ್ಲ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹಡಗುಗಳು, ಅಂತೂ ನೋಡತಕ್ಕ ಮನೋಹರವಾದ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ವಸ್ತುವಿಗೂ ಅದನ್ನು ತಪ್ಪದೇ ಬರುವುದು. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರ ಗರ್ವವು ಕುಗ್ಗುವುದು, ಮುಖಂಡರ ಅಹಂಕಾರವು ತಗ್ಗುವುದು. ಯೆಹೋವನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಆ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ
கர்த்தருடைய பரிசுத்த நாமம் மகிமைப்படட்டும். இதுவரை ஏசாயா 2வது அதிகாரம் வரை நம்ம வாசிக்கிறோம். பத்தொன்பது தினக்கால நம்ம உங்களுக்கு நாளைக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் மனைவி ரஜானே தீபாவளி ரஜா இருக்குது. சாயங்காலம் எல்லாரும் பண்ணி வாக்கியம் ஓதி தேவனை நான் ஆசீர்வாதப்படுத்துகிறேன். ஓகேனா? ஓகே. 18th இன்னைக்கு I will review half of the 40 days, 20 days last time. How do you feel? Do you think that it's being useful to you? Just you are thinking, oh, why am I wasting my time on earth? Did you waste your time today? சரிங்களா? என்ன சொல்றீங்க? இந்த பைபிள் வாசிக்கிற ஆராதனை குறித்து என்ன சொல்றீங்க? என்னம்மா? பிரயோஜனமாச்சு. சரி சரி. அப்புறம் உங்களுக்கு எப்படி இருக்கு பிரதர் சஞ்சய்? பிரயோஜனமாச்சு. வெரி குட். உங்களுக்கு என்ன விதத்தில் பிரயோஜனமாச்சு? எப்படி பிரயோஜனமாச்சு? அதிகமாக இதில் வாசிச்சது சிஸ்டர் ஏஞ்சல், சிஸ்டர் ஆனா ஜாஸ்மின், சிஸ்டர் தீபு, சாதா ஆண்டி, ரோஷன், ஹைஸ்ட் அப்பாஸ்டமா அவங்க தான் பிரதி தினம் ரொம்ப அதிகமாக வாசிக்கலாம். சரி, நீங்கள் தேங்க்யூ. நீங்கள் சண்டே வரீங்க. அது நீங்கள் ரெஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த டேஸ் யூ ஆர் பிஸி. ஆக்சுவலி எக்ஸாம் இருந்துச்சு, மேத் எக்ஸாம் இருந்துச்சு, மீறி வேலைக்கு போகிறாங்க, எல்லாரும் வேலைக்கு போகிறாங்க, எல்லாருமே வேலைக்கு போகிறீங்க. தமிழ் பேர் சஞ்சய் வேலைக்கு போய் நைட்டு 9, 10 மணி 12 மணிக்கு வராது. எல்லாருமே பிஸி பர்சன். பட் இருந்தாலும் நேற்று வந்து வேலை எல்லாத்தையும் நானும் 2 hours பெர்மிஷன் எடுத்துகிட்டு வந்து வாசிட்டு மறுபடியும் அவங்களுக்கு நைட் டியூட்டி, நைட்டில் போய் அவங்க வேலை செய்யணும். ஸோ இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது சந்தோஷம். நம்மளோட ஆசீர்வாதம். அதனால் மீதி இருக்கிற நாளில் நீங்கள் என்ன செய்யணும்? அப்புறம் லாஸ்ட் 3 days ஃபுல்லாக ப்ரைஸ் கோஷன் இருக்கும். நல்ல ப்ரைஸ் கோஷன், நல்ல துதியாக தான் இருக்கும். Thursday, Friday, Saturday, அப்புறம் சண்டே ஈவினிங் நமக்கு சர்ச்சாலும் சரி, காலையில் இல்லை, ஈவினிங் தான் நமக்கு. ஸோ நல்லா ஜெபிங்க. கத்தருடைய கத்த சித்தமானால் 27th வந்து நான் மார்னிங் ப்ரேயர் வைப்பேன். நீங்கள் கலந்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா அது பிடிச்சிருக்கும். எனக்கு வைக்கணும்னு ஆசை தான். ஆனால் சரீரத்தில் எனக்கு அதிக விளைவினங்கள் நம்ம ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டேன், இன்னும் கஷ்டப்படுறோம். அதனால் வைக்க முடியல. வந்து ஜெபிங்க. கத்தருடைய ஆசீர்வாதம். நாளை நேரத்தில் தொடர்ந்து ஏசாயா 3வது அதிகாரத்திலிருந்து நாம் வாசிக்க கேட்கலாம். கத்தருடைய ஆசீர்வாதம். சரிங்களா? ஓகே. பாருங்கள், நீங்கள் வாசிக்கிறது இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் முழுவதும் போகும். அமெரிக்காவில் பார்க்கலாம், ஆஃப்ரிக்காவில் பார்க்கலாம், யாருனாலும் பார்க்கலாம். இன்றைக்கி லண்டனில் இன்றைக்கெல்லாம் பார்த்துக்கலாம். கத்தருடைய ஆசீர்வாதம். கண்களை மூடி எல்லாம் தேவ சமூகத்தில் இருக்கலாம். இலைகள் உதிரா மரங்கள் போல இவர்கள் நல்ல கனி தருவார். இலைகள் உதிரா மரங்கள் போல இவர்கள் நல்ல கனி தருவார். சத்திய வேதம் பக்தரின் கீதம் சுத்தர்கள் போகும் பாதை தீபம் உத்தம மார்க்கம் காட்டும் சத்திய வேதம். நேசிக்கிற பரலோக பிதாவே, 19 நாட்கள் உடைய சமூகத்தில் வாசித்தோம். ஏசாயா 2 வருடங்கள் வாசிக்க உதவி செய்து வாசித்த ஒவ்வொரு பிள்ளைகளுடைய ஆசீர்வதியும் தொடர்ந்து மீது இருக்கிற